We are live. Live at 5. We are live. Playing with all these joints. Everybody in the building. How y'all doing? Got 4 in the building. Alright. Y'all give me a second to sort all of this out. A lot going on in the news. A lot of people very upset. The boxing world was definitely on one today. All the moral outrage. Plenty of moral outrage to go around. And yeah, man. Big card tomorrow. Yeah, me. Okay. Let's go to the chitty chat. Mike C, what's good? Ayo, Abe, what's good? Actual Facts, what's good? Ernie Wiles, what's good? So yeah, I was gonna squeeze in a third video, but I decided I wanted to wing it. Decided, why not just do it live? Perhaps get somebody on the panel, chop it up with them as far as what they think about tomorrow's fights and some of the stuff that's in the news right now. I want to start it off with start the conversation off with tomorrow's fight between Ebony Bridges and Maylise Gangloff. That's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a very fun fight because they're both two come forward aggressive fighters. Both girls is action fighters. One is more put together than the other. That's Ebony Bridges. Maylise Gangloff, she's kind of like Dora the Norek, but a little bit more put together, though there's still more work needs doing. She loses a lot of form when she's coming forward, throwing those straight shots. She throws good straight shots, but when she's coming forward trying to close the gap, she sacrifices a lot of defense in order to do this. And this is an opportunity for Ebony Bridges to get in that high guard, cover up, catch and shoot, and hit her with shots as she comes in. This is going to be a physically taxing fight, I believe, for Ebony Bridges, because even though Maylise Gangloff is a bit irresponsible when it comes to defense, she's got a good engine. She throws good straight punches. She seems to be able to take a good punch. She's never been stopped. She's got 2 recorded losses, but she was never stopped in any of them. She looked close to being stopped by Ellie Scottney when they fought. That was early in their fight. But Ellie isn't really not that big a puncher. She doesn't sit on her punches as much for as long as Ebony Bridges. You know, Ellie Scottney's bread and butter is accuracy and moving around the ring. It's going to be an interesting fight, this fight. It's going to be an interesting fight because, yep, she's high volume. She throws a lot of punches, and she doesn't stop throwing punches. So if there is something that's going to get tested tomorrow for Ebony, one, it's going to be her gas tank, her fitness. She showed in the Shannon Courtenay fight that she could fight in a high-paced, high-octane fight for the full 10 rounds. She may have to do that tomorrow. The second thing that's going to get tested is her defense. Not her offense, her defense. She'll have plenty of opportunities to show her offense. It's her defense that's going to get tested because you want to capitalize off the opportunities Maylise gives you without sacrificing defense, and that's going to be the trick. I think that Ebony Bridges has pretty good catch and shoot game. I think she'll be okay in that department. I'm just wrestling with the idea that Ebony might be the first to stop Maylise Gangloff, because Maylise Gangloff's not old. She's not inactive. She's tough. She could take a punch. She's coming off a W. She had a fight back in her hometown of France. She's from France, and she's coming off a W. She beat Romaine Gaffrey, fought through a decision, I believe it was. I believe it was a decision. And yeah, man, that's what I'm really wrestling with right now, whether or not Ebony's going to win by way of knockout or win on points. Not completely sure. Don't know. The conservative prediction would have to be Bridges on points. But I'm going to go for the gusto, and I'm going to say Bridges by way of knockout. Say Bridges by way of knockout. Get some people on the panel here. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of stuff going on. You guys already know what my prediction for the Josh Warrington versus Mauricio Lara fight is. Y'all know that from the moment that it was proposed that there could be a rematch, I decided to go ahead and go with Josh Warrington on points because I believe he made a fatal mistake. I believe he went into that fight with no idea of what fighter was in front of him, that you don't trade punches with this guy. You don't stand in front of this guy. You got to stick and move. And I'm not saying that Josh Warrington is going to become a completely different fighter overnight, but he goes into this fight with all the experience from the first fight, realizing I can't be square to this guy. I can't put 3 and 4 punches together with this guy. I got to use my legs. I got to stick and move. This fight is going to have a crowd there, unlike the first fight. The first fight was real quiet. Josh Warrington and Beats made this point many times that Josh is the kind of fighter that feeds off the crowd. And as long as he's in there and he's doing things right, that could actually be to his benefit. He doesn't have to change that much. He just has to stay on the balls of his feet, move around, don't put too many punches together, straight shots from the outside. I think he can do that for 12. His career and what remains of it hangs in the balance. This is a make or break fight for Josh Warrington, and he knows that. He said as much. In a situation like that, yeah, I think he can turn it around. I go Josh Warrington on points. I could be wrong, and the fun part is finding out. With Katie Taylor and Jennifer Han, Jennifer Han's abilities are flying low under the radar. One, because while she was fighting, most people, they weren't familiar with her. And two, yo, what's good, son? Let me run through these picks real quick, and we're gonna chop it up because I wanted to talk to you about our boy Oscar Valdez. Let me just run through this real quick.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so Jennifer Han is actually a good fighter. She is actually a good fighter. Most people don't realize that. But with Katie Taylor, it's always a question of how are you going to handle the movement, how are you going to handle the in and out, and how are you going to handle the speed. Jennifer Han actually has a lot of strength and character. You could see that in her face that she's a serious competitor. She's a former world champion, mother of 2 children. She's not fucking around. She didn't fly all the way to the UK to go fuck around. And I would like to think that her strength of character would help her fight a good fight. But I'm looking at the things she does well, and Katie does them better. Jennifer Han moves well. Katie moves better. Jennifer Han fires good straight shots from the outside. She could hit you with a jab up top, jab to the body. She doesn't abandon the body. But I don't think she's quick enough to land those shots on Katie. I see a situation where if Katie don't get a stoppage, and I'm not really leaning towards a stoppage. I'm leaning towards a decision, maybe 1 or 2 knockdowns, but it feels like it could be a fight that goes to a decision. I think Katie's going to beat her to the punch at every turn. I think that Katie wants to show more of a mean streak, so you're going to get those moments where Katie's getting off a lot of combinations, looking to land a lot of shots. But Katie's not the biggest puncher, and Jennifer's tough. Like, Jennifer's not some girl they dug out of a well. She's a real competitor. She's a former champion. She's been in there with Helen Joseph. She's been in there with Fatuma Zarika. I believe she also fought Melissa St. Ville in her first fight, her first pro fight. She lost that fight, but that's still experience that you got. She's a tough girl. So I'm going to say my picks for tomorrow, Bridges knockout, Warrington on points, Taylor on points. As far as Han and Benn and Adrian Granados, I think that's going to be an excellent fucking fight. They're both mean. They're both nasty. They both like to throw punches. And the conservative prediction really is Han and Benn. I'm going to go because I didn't forget that you know, Adrian Granados done been in there with a lot of goddamn people. Danny Garcia sparked this guy, but that was at welterweight. And this is at welterweight. So I'm going to go for the gusto. I'm going to be gutsy. And I'm going to say Han and Benn by way of knockout. Why not? And if I'm wrong, who gives a damn? Alexis was good, man. Your mic is off, bro.
Sorry. Hey, yeah, what's up, my brother?
So what do you think about this? Let me just get your thoughts, because I didn't get your thoughts about our buddy old pal, Oscar Valdez and his PED situation. The first question I want to ask you is, do you believe that he knowingly ingested a banned substance?
Before hello.
I've been doing that a lot. I want to entertain the crowd, so I put the thumbnail. I'm entertaining.
Oh, you fucking lost your mind, bro.
I can't take credit for that. Boxing Antics. All I did was add the green light. Shout out to Boxing Antics, the best boxing memes in boxing. All
Oh
right.
my God.
All I did was add the green light. The rest, that's all Boxing Antics. So,
Wow.
do
Wow.
you?
Oh, see, how you gonna ask me a question and then throw that shit on?
I did it on purpose, man. I do it's all on
Wow.
purpose.
Listen,
And
listen. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and you know, I've always been consistent with this, right? First of all, I do believe that there's room for suspicion. I'll put it to you that way.
All right.
Okay. I can only put it to you that way. If I'm honest to myself and true to myself and my views on the subject, I say that I don't really care and it doesn't matter. And I do believe that the WBC and the Yaki Commission got it right. That's a very unpopular opinion. But before we go any further with that, can I just please, Mr. Ring IQ, can you allow me to just go backtrack to that Conor Benn Adrian
Oh
Granado?
yeah. Let's get into let's touch on all that shit. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the other fights there that were mentioned, is that on the same card as the Warrington fight, Lara? It is? Wow, so that's going to be a really good card tomorrow then. Anyway,
like I'm gonna just say this: you could tell that the matchmaker, whoever the matchmaker was, because I can see it. Whoever that matchmaker was, he wanted to make sure that all 20,000 of those fans in lead get nothing but action, because that's all those fights are. All of those is action fights. All of them.
That's gonna be a hell of a card tomorrow. Trust and believe. I'm glad that cleared out, because I was like, man, there's all this going on at the same time. It's wild. Anyway, the Conor Benn Adrian Granado's fight, I can't understate or I can't overstate how good of a fight that is, and how those are the kind of fights that only certain promoters make.
That's true.
You're not getting enough. That's the kind of fight that I would put up there, really, just a step below. You know, I wouldn't even put it, honestly, for me. Let me be honest with myself. I wouldn't even put it a step below the Virgil Ortiz, Kavaslavskis fight.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Well, maybe I would, because Granados is just that much older and Kavaslavskis is that much fresher and is more known of a puncher. So maybe perhaps. But the thing is, the essence of such matchmaking is what's important.
Yes.
The essence of Granados just exposed the guy from Top Rank, who they were trying to, I think he's Venezuelan or South American now, or that he's undefeated, 28-0, whatever. He exposed that guy. They didn't give him the decision, but he certainly won that fight. You know what fight? Santillan? That's his name, is Santillan?
Santillan. I remember that fight.
Yeah. He lost that fight. He lost that fight. Granados is a wily veteran that can really expose a youngster, and for a promoter to put some guy, a prospect of his who he's actually interested in building in an important weight division like 147 in with the Granados, you have to believe in your product. And I can't overstate just how interested in those fights that I'm in. That it's really great for boxing.
And not to add to your point, he's passed all the tests. Like, I think, I don't know who exactly is in charge of everything with Conor. But what I notice about Conor is Conor's one of the guys over there that grooming him like a top ranked fighter. Sean Porter fought Sebastian Formella. Conor fights Sebastian Formella. All these different guys fought Samuel Vargas, Errol Spence. No. Danny Garcia fought Samuel Vargas. I forgot who fought him in the past. Samuel Vargas is a guy who's been in there with a lot of guys. What do? They throw him in there with Conor. He finishes him. He finished him faster than I thought he was going to finish him. Because I thought he was going to finish him, but I thought it would take longer. So you see how they're moving him. They got him fighting familiar faces. Every time he gets out there, he has a fun fight. It's fun to watch, and he passes with flying colors. So to me, they're doing a great job with that kid. They really are.
Yeah, and he's really passing the test in that respect, and also as far on the marketing tip, the way he comes off, he's like gangster to the bone and speaking Spanish and the whole nine. Like that is crazy, man.
They got I think he could speak Spanish.
Bro, he speak better Spanish than Danny Garcia. He speak better Spanish than Danny Garcia.
He can go to Puerto Rico.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Gangster to the bone. I love that kid, man. For real, man. So as far as Warrington and Lara, I expect that Lara's gonna kick his ass again. I saw that. I don't see how the hell Warrington's gonna do anything different to that guy. But if he does, then that's it's certainly a fight that is that the headliner.
That's the headline fight because Josh Warrington, he's from Leeds. Leeds,
and it's in Leeds.
And it's in Leeds. It's a big Leeds crowd, 20,000 people.
Okay, so that fights. What that's gonna do is that it would do more, in my opinion, my humble opinion. It would do more. That's the kind of fight that would do more for Lara than it would for Warrington. I say that because Warrington was supposed to beat that guy, right? So Lara doing it again in England twice, that will raise his profile to a certain level that, he's going to make a lot more money than he would have had he not done this. You understand? So it's going to really raise his profile. So that's what I get from that. I don't know about Katie Taylor or the other. There's another woman there you just said?
Yeah, Jennifer Hahn. What I'm going to say about Lara, what I want to add about Lara is if he beats Josh twice, right? Either way, Matchroom wins because now you got a guy that you could put in there with Lee Wood. You got a guy you could put in there with Kid Galahad, who just became the IBF champion. So
is Lara an actual Matchroom fighter, though?
No, pero la vaina con Matchroom is whenever they have a fighter like a Lara, if he wins, a part of the contract is they got options on him. Options on.
So does the same shit, yeah.
Exactly. They all do that shit. So it's like it's not even the end of the road. Like, look, I think Josh can pull it off. I honestly do, because if you think about how everything happened, you vacated the title to get out of the Kid Galahad mandate. So you thinking, oh, let me drop this belt and I'll fight this off-brand guy en route to the Kansu fight. You didn't realize that, like, yo, this dude is the Mexican Rocky. You think it's a show. To him, it's a fight. And he came here to take your head off. You go standing in front of this guy not realizing the dude fought like 5 times or some wild shit in 12 months. It was some wild ass number this dude was down there fighting. Whereas you had not fought, I think, in like a year or some wild shit. It was the perfect storm for everything to go wrong. But now that you got that experience, you got your people behind you. They done built a whole motherfucking event. You know what time it is, and you know it's time to get out there. It's time to perform. I think he can pull it off.
Okay.
If he loses again, though,
shit, man. Shit.
The irony in what happened to Warrington was very appropriate, I think, because he could have had some other fights, and he decided to do some really ridiculous shit.
I mean, look, no vamos a decir eso porque you know what? Le ofrecieron a Gary before he vacated the title. They offered Gary Russell $1 million to come over do the fight. Gary say no. You know what I mean? They petitioned the WBA to have Kansu elevated to full champion. The WBA said no. So it's like, I understood why they did what they did. Because it's like, yo, we trying to have a big fight over here. And y'all pestering us with this guy again. I already seen this guy. I'm trying to unify. No, and it's bullshit. Leo up there at 130. Why the fuck he still got a belt at 126 if he up there at 130 right now? He got your belt at 130 and the one at 126. And you telling me you cannot elevate Kansu so we could do a unification? It's bullshit. So to me, I see how it happened that you got lax. You got relaxed. Thinking, they gonna bring me some off-brand cat from south of the border in America. Ain't shit. It's a tune-up fight. And you not realizing for that other dude, this is a life-altering experience, B. This is life-changing shit for him. So now that you know what kind of guy he is, you know not to punch with him. And as long as you don't punch with him, stick and move behind the straight punches, you could do the job.
The thing is that Warrington likes to fight, and he's going to stand in there.
I think if he decides to throw caution to the wind, it'll be late. And maybe he gets knocked down. But that's after he might gain a comfortable lead.
All right. So then as far as Oscar Valdez.
That's meat and potatoes time. Meat and potatoes time.
Okay, meat and potatoes time. I see this, like I said, yes. Is there a question? What there's room for suspicion. There's room for suspicion.
The first question was, I want to ask you one more time, and then I'm gonna ask Isan. Keep it short. Do you believe Oscar knowingly ingested performance-enhancing drugs, or do you think he was ignorant to that?
Honestly, it's kind of like Alexis said. It's like at this point, it doesn't even matter. But if you really ask me, I want to say I think he did. Just because of, his camp's history, I think he did.
All right. Alexis, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you believe that he knowingly ingested performance-enhancing drugs?
I give you the same answer. I think that there's definitely room for suspicion.
All right. Second question, I'm going to go to Isan. And I know, Alexis, I know you got a good one for me, so I'm going to go to Isan first. Isan, does it matter to you if he took performance-enhancing drugs on purpose? Does it matter?
No, because there are a bunch of guys in this goddamn sport that do it. Like, I wasn't even outraged by it. It doesn't matter to me because it's like at the end of the day, how many motherfuckers are doing the same shit he did? They just didn't get caught. How long have they been doing it? We just don't know. So it's like it really don't even matter.
All right. Alexis, cook on this. Cook on this. Does it matter to you?
Absolutely not. Not one iota. I am very, very persistent and consistent on this. People come down on me. I don't give a shit. I went at it with Victor Conti on Twitter.
Shit.
He goes, I say because he's making, he wants to all of a sudden be the whatever, the czar of this. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, get the fuck out of here. Like, you're the fucking guy that practically invented this shit. Now you want to stop. This nonsense. So
he got some fucking nerve.
Mother Teresa all of a sudden, man. So holier than thou. So the thing with me is this, man. Like, first of all, as far as the Oscar Valdez situation, it is better for the sport that man kept that belt, kept this fight, his date with Robinson Conceição, because the alternative would have been for him to get stripped, and then you have probably two nobodies fighting for a vacant belt. It might fall in the hands of the wrong promoter, and then you don't have no unifications. The storyline is here. If you want Oscar Valdez to pay the price for possible infractions, then let him pay the price in the ring. He beats Conceição. Well, let me tell you something. Conceição is not a walk in the park. I mean, he's an Olympic fighter, man.
Exactly.
He knows what he's doing. But and the reason why they had to make that fight, Top Rank had to make that fight, is because when you sign a Robinson Conceição, you tell him in your Top Rank, you tell him, I'm going to get you a championship fight. You're going to get a shot at the belt. Well, now they fulfilled it for him. That's the thing. That's why this fight was made. You can say because he's nitpicking, cherry picking this and no. Top Rank promises when you sign with them and you're an Olympic fighter, we're going to get you to the promised land, and it's up to you to get that belt. Well, now you're there. You understand? Mm-hmm. So, but let's say he gets back of Robinson and Conceição. Now we all got to look forward to him fighting the winner of Herring Shakur Stevenson, which was probably going to be Stevenson. Yeah. So we have down the line a unification at 130 between Shakur Stevenson, possibly against Oscar Valdez. What's better for the sport than that? You want to get stuck on this bullshit of him, of what tea he drink, or what the diuretic, or this and that and the other? When you come on, let's stop the nonsense. Let's stop crying and bitching and moaning about every fucking thing, man. He who has no sin cast the first stone is the life that I live. You understand? That's the life that I live.
No. I mean, I want to add to that, because this is the thing, and I'm kind of just sick of the virtue signaling and the convenient outrage.
Exactly.
I remember when Canelo popped for the clenbuterol, and the same guys that's demonizing him now was the same guys that gave him a pass because they wanted him to beat Gennady Golovkin. I remember all of that. They didn't give a fuck about the clenbuterol. They didn't give a fuck that he wasn't enrolled in a clean boxing program. They didn't care about none of that shit. So you could turn around now, oh, because it's a PBC fighter, you care now. Because it's a PBC guy, oh, now you care. You didn't care before. Guys like that open the door for what's going on right now. Yeah, you open that door because the WBC and the powers that be saw that, yo, it's people out there that don't give a fuck if he tests positive for clenbuterol. They don't care.
No.
So that you could turn around in 2021, oh, now you want to get on a high horse? Now performance enhancing drugs matter? They didn't matter before, but they matter now? Suck a dick. Get out of here.
How about this? How about people that condemn fighters that never even popped for anything? Like Triple G was suspected of because he was knocking out people, or he's using something. And it was like, I don't know if you remember that, but, you know, it was like gospel. Yeah, he must be using because he's Russian and this and that. And everybody from Russia is dirty and this and that. But when the Mexican popped dirty, then it was, you know, then what do you have to say about it? The same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, that he denied wanting to take a test against Floyd, but this and that, whatever. Point is, the man's never popped dirty. But it's okay to keep accusing him. But then you have Evander Holyfield getting shit sent to his house from whatever the hell.
Shit, that guy.
Bro, he was the first dude to order PEDs from Amazon, B.
Yo, over the like there's postal records. That's so
You're a fucking clown.
And nobody talks about this. So this is selective outrage. And I'm not with that. Selective outrage is bullshit.
And see,
that's why I say, and this is unpopular opinion, that in order, if it's about cheating, then let's get rid of cheating, right? The way to get rid of cheating, ready for this? The way to get rid of cheating is to even the playing field. Make PEDs available and acceptable and part of the negotiations. That's it. Because at the end of the day, if the fighter doesn't want to fight, you know, I'm going to listen. And I'm dead fucking serious, man. Like, well, I'm going to be using Valdez for this fight. Like, just do it.
Fuck it.
Just fucking do it.
And you know why I say fuck? You know why I say fuck it? And I've this is taking me years to come to that same conclusion. But the reason I say this is because right now it's going on anyway. People say they don't want it to go on, but guess what? It's going on anyway. The difference is it's not regulated. It's not regulated. So regulate it. Regulate.
Boom. Boom.
Make it part of like put it in the contract. I get to use meldonium. I get to use aspirin. We both do. We both do.
And now what you've got is an even playing field. Nobody's cheating. If they're both cheating, nobody's cheating, because the definition of cheating is creating an unfair advantage. So let's get rid of the unfair advantage. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Let's get to the root of the matter.
Stop. These guys
are doing it anyways.
These guys that I see that they're so angry about it, they're so outraged. You know, Jarrell Miller was so angry and so outraged. He was so angry and so outraged until he got fucking caught. John Pascal in the Hopkins fight, he was so angry and so fucking outraged until he got caught. All right? All that hooping and hollering, I'm looking at a cat like that and I'm like, yo, what you hiding, bro? Because you being real loud right now. You being real loud right now. You might be you might be telling the truth, or you might be trying to get the attention off you. I don't got no reason to believe none of y'all. Why? Every year, 2 and 3 and 4 of you are testing positive every year. 2 and 3 and 4 of you, and you pick when it bothers you. I didn't see, for example, when Billy Joe Saunders got popped, the Brits wasn't that mad about it, but they mad about this. Now, in turn, the Americans was mad about it, but the Brits wasn't. Now, it's this stupid fucking game that everybody's playing, and I'm thinking, yo, if y'all all playing the same game, why you mad? Why you mad? I asked this on Twitter. If the LDBC is so forgiving of the Charlo brothers for skipping out on VADA tests, right? Y'all forgiving of that. That's not suspicious to y'all. Don't turn around and try to cast suspicion on people then. And the same is true in reverse. The same is true. I got the same energy for all of them. If you ask me, Oscar Valdez is a PED cheat. I don't care what he gets on camera and says. I don't care. I don't believe you. I didn't believe Tyson Fury. I didn't believe Povetkin. I don't believe Pascal. I don't believe Miller. I don't believe Butte or Best. I don't believe none of y'all. As far as I'm concerned, 95% of boxing is cheating. The other 5%, those is the people that's losing.
95% of sports is cheating. How about that?
There are a bunch of competitors and they want to win. So what do you do when you got a bunch of guys that all want to win? They're gonna fucking start cheating to get what they want.
Well, no, it's
but it's the truth.
The whole MLB not cheating. It's just Barry Bonds. It's just Barry Bonds.
Like, get the hell out of here.
It's just him.
But Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, they celebrated them. Fucking 3,000 home runs in a season. Like, come on, man, stop. They saw it happen. Balls was flying. Brady Anderson in from Baltimore Orioles. The guy had never hit 10 home runs. All of a sudden, hit 50. You know, and baseball.
Luis Gonzalez hit
of all that. And
you know what's funny, Alexis?
Huh?
When Barry Bonds had that 73rd home run season, bro, this dude named Alex Gonzalez, right? I think from the Diamondbacks, he had 57 home runs quietly, and that dude wasn't known as a home run hitter.
No, look, este el mundo, dame decir esto, este el mundo. Ellos no quieren la verdad, porque viene un José Canseco y te dice que mira, esto es lo que está pasando, y lo atacan.
Canseco.
Y lo atacan. They attack him for not selling you the dream, for not selling you that, look, this is what's really going on. It ain't just me, it's all of y'all.
Jose Canseco was a saint for what he did. I mean, let's talk about it. The dude was like, he didn't lie.
El mundo no quiere la verdad. No la quiere. The truth has always been unpopular. You'll get a guy like a Canseco or a guy, por ejemplo, like este tipo de la bicicleta. What's his name? Lance Armstrong. Lance didn't get caught. Lance confessed. And Lance said, look, at this level, they're all doing it. And what do? You attack him. But he's telling you the truth. At this, you want a dream. You just want it to be me. That's not the truth. The truth is all of them or most of them. That's the truth. But you don't want somebody to break your romanticized image of sports. You want, they're clean. Most of them are clean. It's just a couple of bad at. No, the sport is dirty, bro. And somebody.
Honestly, God, can I say this though? Even though Julius don't like my opinions, that's why he wasn't letting me on. But basically, one of the biggest things is, honestly, I can't find a high-level boxer who's been fighting for, like, in a sense, for a long time, the best in his generation, who doesn't cheat. And I mean by cheat, by breaking the rules as far as in the boxing ring. PEDs is a whole nother conversation, but I can't find a high-level boxer who doesn't break the rules somewhat in a boxing ring. Because most of the ones I've seen all do it.
I'm gonna say this, right? This is I'm not trying to vilify innocent fighters. I'm just giving you what I think. And what I think is that 95% of boxing is cheating. They're all on something right now, and that's why it's not cheating, because most of them are on something right now. And the people that want to make it about quote unquote cheating, it's because they don't like their chances. That's what I honestly believe. Caleb been talking this nervous ass shit before Oscar tested positive. He been talking this nervous ass shit. He has. You nervous, bro. The dude that you vouching for, that dude is the motherfucking PED King. PED King. How the fuck you sound when your stablemate with Snack, he tested positive for the Charlo fight. And you think when these cats talk, they don't imagine that these slack-jawed idiots on Twitter know what's going on, bro. I didn't forget that your boy is Snack tested positive, and I'm fairly confident he's not the only Snack Systems fighter that is tested positive
Who's
for
that? Who's that?
Willie Monroe. He was supposed to fight Jermall Charlo, and he got popped.
Oh.
That's when Matt Korobov had to come in on short notice.
I thought that was USADA. I thought that was USADA.
That's not USADA, bro. That's Vada. It wasn't even that long ago. That was Vada, all right? And he's a Snack Systems fighter.
It was like 2 years ago, I think.
He's a Snack Systems fighter. He's still on their website, Willie Monroe. So while you sitting here saying that, oh, everybody's guilty by association because of Canelo and Oscar, that means you guilty by association because of Willie and Victor. That's what that means.
Let me ask you something. That Snack, that's Victor Conte or no?
That's Victor Conte. He made that shit. He literally made that company, bro.
So what the fuck is he talking about, bro?
I always I'm trying to cut through all this catharsis about PED usage in sports. That okay, there's another class of people, right, that have to do this on the regular to put their body through a lot of physical stress, and in order to do that, they have to supplement themselves. And those things may not be ideal to you, but like that's just a reality. I think if we remove the stigma, I think people would understand that this is what has to happen for these athletes to quote unquote perform.
You have to understand that a lot of times when people get caught, it's not all the time done purposely. Sometimes you can just get popped for a masking agent. It's not doing anything for you, but it's considered a masking agent. Every time you look at the list for what constitutes as a masking agent or what in a sense counts as a PED, the list gets bigger every year. This is why almost every time when somebody has to take something, they have to ask the commission, can I take this and will it pop dirty? But a lot of these fighters, they're just not really being thorough enough, and maybe that's the case with these boxers right now while they're getting
playing
popped.
a violin, you playing and I don't got time for devil's advocate when we all motherfucking know what's going on. I'm damn near 40. I'm not in the business of playing dumb. I'm not. That sound like the same explanation that Jarrell Miller gave. The list getting so then fucking.
Okay, so what about the Bermain Stavern situation? You didn't believe that was something
Bermain Stavern situation was simple. This is a banned substance because it's hazardous to the user. That's why it's banned. It's not a PED. It's not even a masking agent. They said that shit in plain English. The only reason this is a banned substance is because it's hazardous to the user. It doesn't add nothing to performance, but that's why it's banned. There's a difference between that and fentanyl. There is a difference. Fentanyl is a vasodilator. I knew that before this Oscar Valdez shit happened because I remember when they said fen is dangerous. It was I don't know if you were born yet on Battle. I don't know if you were around for that. I'm not being condescending. A long time ago, there was this big shit about fen because a lot of people were using it, and then out of nowhere, it was like, yo, that shit is not safe. That shit is not safe. I remember all of that.
Was that stuff in Stacker?
What happened?
Was that stuff the stuff in Stacker?
I think so.
I used to work with dudes in overnight,
You know
and they used
funny,
to take
actually,
Stacker, but an energy burst.
Wasn't there like a thing where apparently like fentanyl got mixed in with like blow or something, and they started giving people like seizures?
No. Fentanyl is a different drug, bro. This is phentermine. You're talking about fentanyl. Like fentanyl is a different drug.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's what was in Stacker.
Stay the fuck away from fentanyl. That shit'll kill you. It was a dude.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to.
Just a little over a year ago, fucking dude died at my site. He was on fucking fentanyl. I'm like, come on, why you can't die over there? I don't want to deal with this. I gotta call the paramedics for you and all that shit. Die over there, bro. Like the fuck? That shit made me mad.
I could have sworn Stacker was taken off the shelves. Like I saw that shit recently. Like I heard bringing back to baseball. Baseball player died because he took Stacker as a fat burner.
Yeah.
I guess the dude dehydrated for that shit.
Well,
it was originally meant to be a fat burner, but they had other effects, and it gave people energy boosts, and all the dudes at the overnight was fucking using that shit, and they was coked up and shit.
That sounds like phentermine. I don't know. Fentanyl, I only know it's an illegal drug, and I just it was some jackass that came to my site and decided to die right there, and I'm like, I don't want to. I felt like I was back in New York. Y'all remember a couple of summers in New York, motherfuckers kept jumping into the one train to commit suicide.
Yep.
Like, bro, stop doing that. Go to the D. Go to the A. Why you gotta go to the one? I gotta go to work.
Nah, it's like, bro, I work like close to like
there was
125th and Lennox.
Tú tienes una calle entera allá arriba that you could walk into traffic. No, let me jump in the fucking train porque Julio está ahí and I want to make him late for work. Esa vaina me tenía en fojona. Every other fucking week, or somebody jumped in the... Why? There's perfectly good cars to get hit by above. Go jump in front of those.
Oh, wow.
Shit is wild. But
so you don't believe the herbal tea?
Nah. I mean, there was look. It's kind of like what Lennox said about Canelo. You cannot ingest meat like and look, motherfuckers could be as condescending as they want to be on Twitter. There's people that have experience in life that know this. You don't ingest some meat and your levels come up that high for clenbuterol. No, it doesn't work like that. Because that's passing through your digestive tract. You had clenbuterol in your blood. And
I mean, honest to God, like it's kind of weird because this is one of those situations where I just had to learn a lot of stuff. Apparently, it was a lot of Mexican fighters that popped for clenbuterol that year.
Bro, I know about it. And the whole Mexican team tested positive, and they had to retrace their. They didn't do that for Canelo. You realize that?
No. I know. I'm just saying, there's some things I had to learn about. Like apparently, the situation with James Toney. Apparently, he had like some cream or something that he rubbed on his skin, and it got it.
And
well, that was his excuse.
Bro. I used to be like you, that I take it by a case-by-case basis because I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt based on a judicial system, which I now believe is broken. And I've always believed it was broken. I'll start off giving you the benefit of the doubt, and then I'll look at how many people I gave the benefit of the doubt and realize this is all bullshit. All of you have a great explanation. Every single last one. Ortiz ate horse meat. Fury ate some cock from a boar. Motherfucking Oscar out here drinking tea. This motherfucker's eating carnitas at the chimichurri truck. Motherfucking Evander Holyfield, apparently the wrong package.
It would have been more believable if they said, I don't know where it came from. That was just saying. It would have been. It would have been more believable if they said, "I don't know where it came from."
Bro, you know that was literally his. It's not mine. It's Evan Fields. Evan Fields.
That was his excuse.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I don't have, and I'm old. I'm almost 40. I don't have time for these fucking games. You're all lying. That's what I think. You're all lying.
How about Roy Jones? Did he get caught up in some shit?
I'm gonna tell you what's distinct about Roy's situation from every other situation I've heard, and it's the only reason that I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. He wasn't the only one that tested positive for that banned substance. His opponent tested positive also. They both tested positive for the same banned substance. They said that it came from a supplement, and because his opponent also tested positive, that's the only reason I've ever given him the benefit of the doubt, because I've never seen that. I never seen that you and the guy you was gonna fight, y'all both tested positive for the same shit. So
they
to
both
me,
could have been cheating.
But
wait a minute. If they're both on it, it ain't cheating.
Exactly.
If you're both on it,
which gets
it's still technically cheating because what you said earlier, Jules, it could be damaging to yourself even if you use it.
No. You not. So you doing that same old shit? Like, nah. Like I said, I don't have time for that. What I see is the sport is dirty and it don't want to be clean. That's what and I've seen this before in other walks of life. That's why I could recognize it. That's why I recognize it. At your heart, in your heart, you don't want a clean sport because you need that to go to if you need a guy to win. The sport is dirty. It's always been dirty.
In the Mayweather IV situation, do you think that was?
I'm suspicious of Mayweather the same way I'm suspicious of Manny.
If the testing standards are inconsistent, it shouldn't matter anymore.
You know what sways the opinion on what makes it fact or what makes it more believable or what gets more supported? You know what are the factors, the primary factors? The primary factors.
Hold on. Y'all mute y'all mics, man. Y'all got too much shit going on with y'all mics. Go ahead, Lexus.
I'm gonna say it could be mine because every time when a lot of people come on, then my shit starts acting up. So I'm not gonna bother too much. But I'll tell you this because I've been saying this for years. The determining factor on who gets admonished and who gets supported or who gets ignored is it's the amount of support that they have at the social media. So in other words, for a Manny Pacquiao, again, I'm just my belief. A Manny Pacquiao, Triple G, or whatever, they just don't have enough people on the media sites to defend them, to come at you. You go after a Canelo or real well-liked Mexican man, you got hell to pay.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So also the same thing with African American fighters, especially with the PBC, the Alpha. No, you got hell to pay. You understand? But when you have these guys like Manny Pacquiao, the Triple G's, the Kovalevs, whatever, you could say whatever the hell, and in condemnation and fire and brimstone brings down. You know what I'm saying? Fire and brimstone brings down because nobody's there to support him in the social media set.
You know what this reminds me of? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You didn't finish.
No. Go ahead, Battle.
No,
Go ahead, Battle. Go ahead, Battle. Go ahead, Battle.
You know this remind me of what's the name of the referee who refereed the Mayweather versus Victor Ortiz?
Oh, wasn't that Bayless?
No, that was
Spanish
that
guy.
was the Mexican
Ortiz,
guy.
the guy who just recovered from COVID.
Is that his name? Is that his name? Ortiz?
Cortez. I think it was Cortez.
Yeah, Cortez or something. I forget his first name, but
Joe Cortez.
Yeah, Joe Cortez. So basically,
all right.
And basically, I don't know if you remember, there was a video that came out. I can't remember whether it was Smitty or it was some famous interviewer who went on an interview. They was talking to Joe Cortez. They was like, dude, there was a lot of people upset at you about the Ricky Hatton fight. They was like, why is you calling Mayweather for these elbows? And he was actually trying to justify and say, putting your elbow in people's throat is not actually illegal. And people was like, what? Like the people in the comment section was like, dude, what is you talking about? That's actually illegal. And it was like, he was trying his hardest to try to justify it, but because he didn't call Mayweather, he actually took a point away from Ricky Hatton. So like, I think he shoved him or something. But he was like, bro, that's still illegal. You're trying to justify it because Mayweather is Mayweather. But yeah, that was still illegal.
Look, I think that for me, I've been watching the sport so long that it's like a relative. I take it for what it is. It's not perfect. It has its flaws. It has its drawbacks, but you love it. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Then I'm like, look, boxing ain't perfect, bro. And neither is the MLB, the NBA, the NHL, or the NFL. None of them are perfect, right? They all got their shit to them. When the Jets was motherfucking sending spies over to the next team camp so they could steal their plays from their playbook. It's all type of filthy ass shit going on, and that's life. That's life. And it's like, I'm not trying to undermine the severity of it. I'm just telling you, this is what's going on, though. Whatever I say, whatever I don't say, this is still going on. It's going to keep going on because that's the way it's been. I can sit there on a moral high horse like everybody else and act all mad about the shit, and it's still going to go on. It's still going to go on. That's exactly. Ain't that what Jarrell Miller tried to do? Man, Joshua on pads. He got TUEs just for him to be the one that got popped. Just for him to be the one that got popped.
Comedy.
Shit is comedy.
Bro, it's like if you tell people how the sausage is made, I think that shit's gonna come back around and bite you in the ass.
Yo, thank you
I
for
really
that.
I really feel like people do weaponize these these information that are coming out, because I think a lot of fighters are popping dirty, but they hide the information. They shred the evidence. They put that shit into ticker tape.
Look, there's such a thing as shadow bans where the guy actually get popped and it never sees the light of day because maybe Vada didn't report it to the media or whatever. Well, Vada don't report to the media, actually. Vada just reports to the affected parties and they decide what they want to do with that information. But shadow bans is real. It's guys getting popped and me and you never hear about it because of the shadow ban. They get popped. They do a fake-ass little suspension. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody gets vilified. At the same time, to your parallel about, people really don't want to know what's in the sausage. They just want to eat it. Don't fucking tell them. Don't tell them because they don't really want to know. You really want to know what they putting in them hot dogs or do you want to eat?
Yo, can I just say this? just to illustrate a point that I made previously about it's about the support a fighter gets. Remember that Manny Pacquiao? He got a lot of shit. He got the condemnation for basically just not agreeing to the first PED test in the early stages of the Floyd Mayweather shit. Remember that? That's the primary evidence everybody uses. Oh, he refused. He refused. Now check this shit out, bro. Juan Manuel Marquez refused and did not get a VADA testing or whatever when he fought Timothy Bradley. That Timothy Bradley wanted it. Now Timothy Bradley's not nowhere near big a name as Floyd Mayweather. Juan Manuel Marquez. I remember reading this story. I can't really regurgitate it verbatim, but basically he refused the tests that Timothy Bradley asked for, and then Timothy Bradley outboxed him. It was one of the best performances.
Look. Vamos a decir esto. Josh Taylor, my Capricorn brother, he fought Ryan Martin. Somebody need to sort their mic. He fought Ryan Martin if Ryan Martin was on testosterone, but you never would have known it to look at that fight because Josh Taylor was more aggressive. Josh Taylor was bullying him and beating him up, but it was Ryan Martin that was on testosterone. All right? This is just reality, all right? That's not me making it up. That's not my opinion. That's facts, all right? I think that most of the sport is dirty. And what I think is really going on when I see people do this moral outrage shit is you're not dirty enough and you're afraid. You're not dirty enough, all right? Because you know what time it is. Mia St. John said it. She was on PEDs. She never got caught. And not only was she on PEDs, she saw many fighters that she will not name that was on PEDs. And that was in women's boxing. That's low profile. Imagine men's boxing with all those millions of dollars involved, all right? People need to grow up. First off, grow up. Because if the sport wanted infrastructure and cleanliness, it would have it. It's like anything else in life. If you want it, you'll get it. You don't want it because it's been years of this shit. It's been years of fighters like Jean Pascal and Jarrell Miller and Alexander Vesputin and Alexander Povetkin and Luis Ortiz. I mean, think about this. The people that like to attack Canelo now, they don't like to talk about Luis Ortiz's Nandrolone case from 2014. They act like he's the greatest fucking heavyweight that ever boxed out of Cuba. He's a fucking PED cheat. If Canelo's a PED cheat for clenbuterol, then he's a PED cheat for Nandrolone.
Well, wouldn't if all of them being cheat kind of put them on the same level playing field?
Did not just say that? Did not just say that?
No,
did not say that?
No, I'm saying if they're all on the same level playing field, then I'm just saying like, honest to God, then they both can be criticized both relative to it. Or
you don't criticize Ortiz for the Nandrolone, right? So shut the fuck up about the clenbuterol.
No. I'm just saying no. That's not my perspective. I'm not saying
you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying look, the same people that sit there and tell you that Ortiz is an elite level fighter, regardless of his PED case, they'll turn around and tell you Canelo's not elite and he's not pound for pound because of clenbuterol. You can't have it both ways. You can't get mad for this and accept that. No, you're just a hypocrite. All right. Now I look at it as this. Taking clenbuterol will not teach you how to throw a proper jab. It won't. That's a fact. It will not teach you how to feint. It will not teach you how to set up a right hand. It will not teach you how to disguise your punches. It's not going to make you a better boxer. It'll make you a better physical specimen. That's what it will do. It'll make you a better physical specimen. But it won't teach you how to box.
Even like it's the same thing. It's like once you kind of like tainted the water, it's kind of people look at you differently. I mean, I've had long conversations about Aaron Pryor. Like peppermint schnapps is not going to make you a better boxer, but most people can't stop saying Aaron Pryor talking about the dead. I mean, trying to at least if we're going to put it on perspective of, hey, we're talking about the dead or whatnot. Hey, he was a drug cheat. The only reason he beat so and so is because he was a drug cheat. But like I said, it's just once that water is tainted, people can't come back from that, especially if you are a guy that they didn't previously like before. So
I dig what you're saying. I'm just saying that when you see so much of it, what you start to realize is it's not outrage. It's not even outrage. You really mad that you scared Canelo, not you, right? But the people that all of a sudden want to attack Canelo, right? They was okay with his pads when it was about Canelo versus Golovkin. They was okay with his pads. They didn't care. But now they worried about his PEDs because of Caleb. Because they don't like Caleb's shit. I don't give a shit, bro. You signed up for that. You signed up for that, bro.
It's funny. The boxing world used to love Caleb until this fight was coming up.
I say the opposite. I say the boxing world, a good chunk of it, they was cool with Canelo's clenbuterol and his carnitas up until he had to fight a PBC fighter. Then it started to bother them. Then it started. Oh no, he be on clenbuterol. Yeah, so what? I don't know what Caleb's on. I don't know what Caleb is on.
I read a tweet that fucking this cat who lost one on the scales, Benavidez should sue the WBC, because of the inconsistency, because he blew his weight, the belt on the weight scales, and because of his drug problem, and while Valdez does it, still gets to keep his. And I'm like, you know what? There's some truth to that. Maybe he should do that, pursue that. But you're not looking at it, as a matter of personal responsibility. Benavidez blew the belt and and the title fight on the because of that. So that there's that to also consider, and they usually brush that aside.
No, let's put it another way. I'm gonna put it the grown up way. If you don't like how the WBC do things, then stop fighting for their fucking title. It's that simple. Yeah. It is that simple. Stop fucking fighting for their title. Stop giving them
the sanctioning fees.
Stop giving them sanctioning fees. If you want to treat it like a child, you'll be treated like a child. You want your cake and you want to eat it too. No, if you don't like how the WBC does things, then why are you giving them your money? Are you slow? You must be. You don't like what Mauricio's doing. You don't trust VADA. You don't trust the clean boxing program. But let me give you this money then, because I'm so fucking ahead of the curve.
Why you rather hit Mauricio Suleiman with a stone cold stunner? Because I can't stand that motherfucker.
I say it in every video I talk about Dillian White. You a fool for chasing that belt. You a fool for giving them people your money for 3 years. You a fool. They've been giving you the runaround for 3 going on 4 years. And you still paying sanctioning fees, though. Of course I feel bad that they did you like that, because you don't get that time back. But you crazy, bro. You still giving them sanctioning fees. When you fight this fall, you're going to have an interim title on the line. And a portion of your purse is going to go to the same people that been jerking you. So I ain't got time to sit on no horse and preach. Nah, bro, you want that. You cool with it. You cool with it.
Yeah, you're basically complicit in the racket,
A little off topic though. Did you buy the idea? I don't know if it was the WBC belt that Mayweather had, but when he went to 154, apparently he was saying that the reason he dropped the belt is because of the sanction fees. Did you buy that, or he just didn't want to fight at 154?
I believe it. I believe it because it made sense. I believe it because it made sense. That's one of the only cats I've ever seen move the way that. That's one of the only cats I've ever seen move like that, because that's how the fuck you supposed to do it. If I don't want that belt, why the fuck would I be sitting here? Yeah. Why would I be sitting here paying for it if I don't want it? I don't want that belt. Yeah. I don't want that rank. If I take that rank,
I thought it was an excuse for him not to defend it.
Bro, remember when he remember when he knew he beat Donaire, that Mauricio tried to walk in there with that belt and motherfuckers pushed that shit to the side like, nah, get out of here, B. What you doing? You trying to give me this WBC diamond, whatever shit? That's how you post it. I don't want that shit. I know you trying to sneak this belt in here into this picture, and you want me to hold this belt so you could get my bread. No, fuck out of here. That shit is on camera. That shit is on camera that he pushed that shit to the side. Like, nah, I'm good. If it ain't the real one, then I don't want it. If it ain't the real one.
That's what Manny should have done when they gave him that fucking champion and Reese's Pieces belt. Throw that shit in the trash just like Riddick Bowe did.
Real rap. That's what he should have did. Like,
okay. So you actually in agreement on Riddick Bowe's decision? Because I can't. Man, I had long conversations about that.
Well, back then it was like dishonorable. Like he was supposed to fight Lennox Lewis for that belt, So there's that,
Look,
this one it's like we're talking about a different
America
thing.
has been trying to rewrite. America has been trying to rewrite that story. Bo Duck Lewis, bro. We gotta take that L. Bo Duck Lewis. It is what it is.
Oh, come on.
No, for real.
He ducked him, bro. He ducked him. It's that simple. But my reprise, I say, is, hey man, Oliver still beat you at least once. Rockman he's still knocked your ass out at least one. I know you got that back, but he still knocked you. You 1-1. You're not 2-1. You 1-1. You 1-1 with Oliver, and you 1-1 with Rockman. So yeah, you got that back, and that's cool. But you ain't break the tie. Y'all tied. You tied. That's why I want Anthony Joshua to fight Ruiz for a third time. Because he beat you emphatically, and you beat him emphatically, just in a different way, on some boxing sweet science shit, right? But you shut him out, basically. You did more or less shut him out. I think I only had Ruiz win a round, maybe 2 in that fight, maybe 2. I only saw one. I only remember one round that it looked like he won that round. He got off pretty good, all right? So do a third fight. But just besides all of that shit, this PED shit is wild to me that people got it's either they haven't been following this sport long enough to realize it and see it for what it is, or they're hypocrites. Neither would surprise me, because you got a lot of motherfuckers on Twitter, they'll swear up and down they the boxing historian of history. Only been watching boxing since 2015 or 2010. Bro, I've been watching this shit forever, bro. Since Morrison and his steroid shit, all right? This steroid shit is not new. It's not new. It's been around since before some of y'all was even born. This shit been around. And what that tell me, every single one of these fucking guys has a great story. Now, you know what it was? I ate some horse, and the horse had steroids. That's how I got the steroids. Oh, nah, I ate from a chimichurri truck, and they meat was bad. Oh, nah.
Do you remember the Jenny Fuchs story? How hers was interesting, because I just found it weird, because I never heard of an excuse like that. That's one. Two, I looked into the USDA, whatever the one it is, to see if she got suspended. It says it was not in competition time, so there was no suspension. But then a softball player had the same excuse. I just found it coincidental that the softball player had the excuse, and I using the same excuse to get off. And that was weird. I'm waiting for a guy to. I'm not even gonna say it here, but I'm waiting for a guy to use that as the excuse as to why he popped dirty.
You ain't gonna hear a lot of guys say that, mother. Look,
what is it? Put it in the private chat.
Look, man, Jenny was doing things and things got swallowed. That's the excuse.
So that was the reason. That was her reasoning for popping dirty.
The dude was dirty.
I remember the dude was on some shit.
I don't. How is that even possible if it's in your bloodstream?
Bro, I don't know. I don't know what she be doing. Somebody got the mean echo, B.
She must be sucking blood from this dude. Might be a vampire, actually. But like, how do you go about talking about this in a way? Because a lot of people gonna assume you hate, and like if you bring up a conversation with a guy who's not so much aware about Oscar Valdez's situation, and you say, well, Oscar Valdez, he kind of just exposed himself. Now you kind of look like that guy who was just, you just outed the guy, and then now he's just like a hater, because a lot of people are just not going to know fully how the situation works when it comes to performance enhancing drugs. Like how do you differentiate yourself from just sounding like a hater, basically?
I don't talk to them. I don't need to talk to them. Like that's, I mean, like, look, like that's how I deal with it. Like, it's not, look, if I want to make a video about this shit to inform people, that's what the channel is for. If I'm on Twitter and I see somebody saying, I'm not going to argue with you, bro. Because you don't know what you took. That's cool. Your perspective on this situation does not matter to me. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to break it down to you. I don't need to sit here for an hour going back and forth with you when I can see that you don't even know what you're talking about. You're not coming from where I'm coming from, and it's not necessary for me to talk to you. It's not. My perspective comes from the perspective of that has been watching fighters get popped for at least 20 some odd years, maybe more. All right? And every single one of these guys has a fantastic fucking reason for the shit. Every single one of them. And if I give them all the benefit of the doubt, oh, none of them are dirty, or all of them are dirty, which one is more likely? All of them are dirty. Every single one of them. And these is just the ones that got caught. These is just the ones that got caught. And I'm not taking people's lives and playing with them or saying that you should play with it. It's just that regardless of what I think, is it or is it not going on without regulation? Without regulation. So regulate. Like, look, man, what we going to do, we're going to put some meldonium in the contract. You're gonna put some motherfucking fen in the contract, and that's it. If you break the contract, you owe me half of your purse. And that's if you still want to fight. Do we have a deal? We on the same drugs?
That's probably the next step in negotiating, Julius, is what drugs are they going to be allowed to use, you know? Because when I started learning about what TUE uses in UFC, I'm like, I started to figure, so there is a reach around. There is a workaround in texting, you know.
There always is.
Isn't in
Because at the end
Lamont Peterson versus Amir Khan? Didn't Peterson have a therapeutic use?
Yeah.
For testosterone?
Mm-hmm.
It's done. It just doesn't get mentioned all the time.
If you look at every case on a case by case basis and you bother to read this stuff, you'll see that it's elaborate, it's sophisticated. Oh my God, it almost makes sense. And you have a million cases like that. So none of you are lying. None of you are on PEDs.
The only issue I have with the argument of everybody, like, let everybody use it and negotiate it and regulate it, is that the reason it's cheating is because they want an edge. If they can't get the edge with the drugs, they're just gonna look for a different way to cheat.
Here's a different perspective. Boxing itself is what's forcing them to cheat. Because boxing is bent and people want to keep acting like boxing ain't bent. No, this is boxing's fault. Why? There's no regulation. There's no union. You have crooked commissions, crooked sanctioning bodies, crooked officiates. The whole sport is bent. If people are cheating, I'm going to say, it's not just their fault. It's boxing's fault as a sport because it doesn't take care of its participants. It doesn't take care of its athletes. Right. You're putting them in a situation where they're nervous that the man opposite the ring might be cheating and enough wasn't done to stop him. So the only way I can protect myself is to cheat because most of this sport probably is cheating. And everybody acting dumb about the shit. Nah, I didn't take nothing. Pop the next year for some shit. Look at how passionate Pascal was with Hopkins. Take the test. Take the test. So that in 2021 you could pop for 4 PEDs.
Yeah.
For 4. Loudest motherfucker in the room though. Take the test. Jarrell Miller, you so determined to turn people against Anthony Joshua so we could find out you got 3 PEDs in your system. This shit is childish.
It is. It's just, you know.
Let's just hope Demetrius Andrade don't pop 30 for something. All that stuff he was talking.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're sponsored by Snack. I mean, it's just how do we know that Snack? How do we know if Snack isn't rebranded Balco? Like, come on, man. All of a sudden, like all of a sudden, you know.
Thank you, Virtuoso.
The context of change, man.
Oh, he went straight.
Yeah.
He went straight. No, you know what I think? I think you can't blame Victor Conti when you slap somebody else's name on this shit. For all I know, that dude dealing, but he just ain't got his name on none of this shit. Plausible deniability is real at the government level. Most people don't know that, and you think it's not real at the criminal level. Keep being childish. These people that ain't got no experience or nothing or sit here on a high horse and try to tell you about shit they don't understand. Plausible deniability is real. I'm not guilty of what I don't know. I could sit here in my lab and make a pad and fucking forget about it. Forget about it. Hey, yo, Joe, go sell that shit. To who? I don't know. Don't tell me. Did you sell pets to Joe Blook? No. No. I didn't sell shit to nobody. What the fuck are you talking about?
All in the name of eliminating the paper trail.
I didn't sell shit to no. I sit here all day with a beaker making pads. Pads! I love these pads! Meldonium, right? Make a whole fucking batch. Turn around. Yo, Joe, take that shit. Get that money, bro. Joe, get that money. I don't know who you sold that shit to, bro. I was just sitting here making Meldonium. I don't know who you sold that shit to. There's so many ways to get over, bro. So people need to stop being childish and realize, at least to me, the whole sport looks dirty. The people at the highest levels of the sport, they don't want a clean sport. They don't. All right? If they did, it would be.
You know, I figured this because, you know, the news coverage on boxing is niche, and because the organization, you know, organizations are atomized, you know, it's easier for them to do sneaky shit like this, you know. But it's a good thing we have social media, you know, to hold these things, hold these organizations, you know, these administrators accountable, you know.
I'll say that it's like when you're it's like if you got like a wife, right? And you know when she get hot, she'll start bothering you and shit like that. Cause you know, she wanna do the shit. It's a dance, bro. It's a formality. It's all of it is a formality. It's like a formality. Like, are you doing all the bitching in the morning for the makeup? I dig it. And all of this. You doing all this shit for show so that you guys don't look like what y'all really is. That y'all all bent. Some of the fighters are bent. Some of the officiators are bent. The judges, the commissioners, the presidents of the organizations, and that you're all bent, bro. You're all bent. And if you sit there and watch the shit long enough, you see you're all bent. You think Jarrell Miller care about people's lives and shit? For all these violins we playing, right? You think that dude took all that shit caring about people's lives? No. Think Pascal just stumbled into 4 pads? He just stumbled. Pads. They just jumped in his system like, no, please. Nah, you put that shit in there. And you know what sport this is. You know what sport. You ain't hitting the ball, but you did it anyway.
With the amount of excuses that are just keep recycling, I should be in the business of writing excuses. I think that's a business we should get into. Be a professional excuse writer.
Yo, the excuses is the best part. Oh, Oscar drank tea. Canelo ate carnitas. Fucking Ortiz was eating a horse. He was so hungry he could eat a horse. Fury is over.
It's always involving a farm animal, like, you know, like, god damn, you know. Go
Imagine,
vegan.
I'm gonna be honest. I've been, honestly, I haven't, like, I tried fasting before, but it's been a while since I was so goddamn hungry that I was just like, man, I can eat a horse. Imagine how hungry you gotta really be to eat.
That's what he told. That's what he told the WBA. Yo, I ate a horse. The horse has steroids, not me. I ate a horse.
That means he just on a liquid diet for weeks.
You know what I'm saying?
He probably ate a racehorse.
Fury, I ate what he said. He ate boar penis or boar testicles. Like, so you want a commission to sit there and believe that you went through a farm to eat boar balls, pig balls. Come on, B.
Hey, you seen Apocalypto when they gave him the board ball?
Yeah, I seen that shit, but that was in the jungle and that was like 100 years ago. Motherfuckers ain't sitting around here, motherfucker chewing on a scrotum. Tough old like, come on, B.
Hey,
Is.
Imagine, like, you hold up now. I've been hungry some days where I just be looking. I'd be like, dang, man, that horse look real good.
Listen, man, I ain't never been that hungry. And I'm just telling you, like, look, it's hard to have this conversation, which is why I don't have it. Like, I'm on this is my waiver, my disclaimer. I'm on my channel that nobody has to come to talking about this shit. But as far as going out there in the world or whatever and having, I ain't gonna do that with you, because it's not your opinions and your shit and your outrage, whatever you got going, that's not my problem. It's not my problem. You're not coming from the perspective that I'm coming from, that I keep seeing it happen, and it's always the same shit on Laver, rinse, repeat. It's always the same shit. That tell me all of you guys are lying, man. You're all lying. You know what's going on, and you know how bent the sport is. I've been saying this for 2 years. Caleb Plant does not want that fight with Canelo. You don't want that fight. You don't. And this is just your nervous ass way of communicating. You don't want that fight. You don't like your chances. You might be on something too. I don't trust the guys that you be around. I don't trust Victor Conte, God bless him, but you a damn fool if you think you're going to convince me he went straight. People don't go straight, bro. Not really. Not really. It's like, bro, it's too easy. The sport is too greasy for you to go straight. Like, bro, what I'm going to go straight for? I could make fucking 6 figures extra a year just doing this shit. Like, nah, I'm good. What I see, Caleb, you never wanted that fight. And you want an excuse to vilify Canelo because you feel forced to fight him. You know what he wants, and you have it. You don't really want that fight. You probably could have went the rest of your career without fighting that man. Probably. You probably wanted to fight a lot of other people than that man. But you see that the deck is stacked against you, and that's why you don't want to fight. I don't believe he wants to fight. I don't think he believes he can beat Canelo. I don't in his heart. I don't think he believes that shit, and that's why he doesn't want to fight. So all this shit about
You think he didn't want to fight Benavidez either?
I think he.
I saw
You
his
know
whole
what's funny?
tune change when he moved to 168.
You know what's funny? I think that where he is right now psychologically, honestly, I think he would prefer Benavidez to Canelo because with Canelo, and I said this already so many times, these guys know that the deck is stacked against them with Canelo. They all know it. They know it. You know, if you fight in Canelo, the judges might fuck you. It's been that way for years. Only recently did the circumstances change enough to where there's room for spontaneity. But for the last 3-4 years, you know, if you fight Canelo, the judges might fuck you. Why? Because they tried to fuck Floyd. If they got the nerve to try to fuck Floyd, what you think they gonna do to you? 114, in that lopsided ass whooping, and they really tried it. They really tried it.
You gotta win 10 rounds. You gotta win 10 rounds against Canelo to
get
get
a
a draw.
Steve Weisfeld felt very brave that night. That was one courageous dude.
But the wild part is, I'm not exact. Am I lying? Am I lying? Floyd schooled this man. This woman going to sit here with a straight face squinting. Looks like a draw to me. Look up CJ Ross. The first picture that come up is her squint. Yeah. She has glasses on and she's squinting. Look like a draw to me. That's what that looked like. It's wild out here. It is wild out here. And you think they don't know? You think they don't know that though?
That's another thing that destroys the fans' interest in the sport, right? Is going into a pay-per-view or whatever, or any event of that nature, knowing that the house fighter is gonna win. You know, just seeing that shit from a mile away, man, it destroys a person's confidence in buying that product. So why do I want to fuck with this thing? You know, why do I want to fucking even make a fight with Canelo? You know, if this thing keeps happening, you know, like I always said about these fighters complaining for a Canelo fight, make the damn fights yourselves with other notables.
Yeah, I said that for 2 years. Y'all playing a game that's gonna backfire. You're staying away from each other when you need your own fans, so you have your own juice. Instead, you relying on Canelo's fans and his marquee value to foot the bill for your highest payday. You hustling backwards. You need to go in there with Benavidez. You need to go in there with Durrell. You need to go in there with Saunders and Smith. And the video is up. I said, Caleb, you need to fight these people before Canelo comes back. Because if he takes care of them, you're fucked. Use the time you have to gain marquee value because it's the money that empowers Canelo. It's the money, right? Caleb, get your own money. All of y'all need to get your own money. Really, Billy should have been fought Callum. Caleb should have been fought them so that you get that marquee value. Like, I'm Caleb playing. I beat Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders. You're not going to come in here and talk to me like that, all right? But now you said you want to fight Farfendugans and Mike Lee.
Let me add something to... Okay, let me add this to and you'll go. You know, all that stupid shit that Plant been saying, you know, to like get sympathy points, you know, I see him losing badly to Canelo, man, but like I have a feeling he's gonna use this fight as a flex for negotiations. That's the sad part about it.
Well, we might not get the
Didn't he already try that already?
We might not get the fight because there's a UFC fight happening that day, and they're saying it might affect the buy rate. Now they're talking, I'm hearing rumors they might move it. These are just rumors, though. Rumors should be treated as rumors, not gospel. But what I'm hearing, rumbling, is, yo, it's a UFC card going on that day, and they might move this shit. And Caleb acting also, pads. Bro, you just started worrying about that shit. That's always been the case. You know,
dude, everything. There's something new about Canelo. This dude's been acting mad squirrely, and I'm like, dude, just relax. You're just there for you're a pawn. He's just there to collect one belt from you, and that's it.
He's trying to delay it as long as he can, as long as he's on top, as long as he's that guy. Be like, hey, I'm the one guy Canelo can't beat just yet.
Like they all just realize the deck is stacked. You just now realize that Gennady Golovkin chased this man. And I don't give a shit how the Canelo fans feel about it. I'm a straight shooter, shoot from the hip. Golovkin won that first fight. I'm not going to argue about it. I'll say I feel Canelo edged the second one. I definitely feel he earned the victory in the second one. The first one, nah, you got chased around the ring and you got outlanded, and they called it a draw. All right? You got a history of, I don't feel that Lara did enough to win the fight, but the Mayweather fight, I always come back to that. Wow, this is boxing's cash cow. And you fucking guys, you really tried it. 114, 114. If you got enough balls and nerve to do that to the cash cow of boxing, there's no telling what you might do. All right? So Robin Gennady, shit, that ain't nothing but a regular old stick up. Appreciate that, Drew. Let me read this super chat. Jules, I hate the hypocrisy. It's regulated by gangsters from each country, and Canelo, Mexico's gangsters are the A side. Fans chose loyalty over their cartel. It is what it is. Jewish, black, Irish, Asian. But it is though. It is like that's just the truth, bro. That is literally the truth. The people that's going up to bat for Oscar, why you really think they doing that? I'll tell you right now, I don't believe Oscar. I think you knowingly took that, and that's just how I feel. But the people you see going up to bat for Oscar, why do you think they're doing that?
Like, well, he just got a big win over Burchell.
All right, Devil's Advocate. All right, Keanu. All right, Keanu.
No. That was my way of saying I'm salty about the Burchell loss.
Look. If I'm salty about anything, right, it's that I feel he took PEDs for that fight. I don't give a shit. I can feel that way. I can feel that way.
Bro.
I can feel that way.
I got you.
You didn't look like that at 126 with Scott Quigg. You didn't look like that at 130 with Adam Lopez out the clear blue sky. This man is beating the shit out of Burchell. The shit. This is everything, all the boxes that have to tick off like, yo, did this dude just end up looking like a different fighter overnight? Yes.
Exactly. Like, did you hold on. I'm trying to figure out what's the greatest example I can use. I'm trying to think. Okay. Now I know John Jackson has always fought in a way that he's already in a way, but the fight with Jermell Charlo, I don't know. I don't know, baby. I was just like, wait a minute. Like, this is looking suspicious, right? I don't know. Like, do you think?
Nah. And you know what saves it for me? That I've seen Charlo in that situation more than once. So Jackson didn't stand out. They're like, damn.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That saves it to me. Because remember, the Rosario fight, low key, was kind of like that too. That Rosario coming on strong.
I got a perfect example. I got a better example. Okay, Navarrete versus Dog Bay. Honest to God, I've seen Navarrete fight before that. I swear to God, I have never in my life seen somebody throw so many punches so accurately and so on the mark. I was just dumbfounded.
Bro, let me save you the trouble. Let me say what I don't want you to implicate yourself. Let me take this bullet for you. Yes, I think. let me do this for you. Yes, I think Navarrete is on the source. That man was a giant at 126. How the fuck is this guy making 126? How was Ray Vargas making 122? That don't make no motherfucking sense. How was Ray Vargas? And coincidentally, he tests positive for clenbuterol. But I'm supposed to sit here and be dumb about the shit. That, like, bro, the dude is wild, tall, and skinny at 122. How is he making that weight? Clenbuterol. How is Navarrete? Clenbuterol. Now, why don't I bitch about it? Because I know he's not the only one that's dirty. I know he's not. It's others. So what I'm going to sit here and pigeonhole him when I know the whole game is rigged and the whole game is dirty? Then I'm not going to spend time on him, am I? No, and I don't. Before, when I was younger, you're dirty. You're endangering people's lives until I see, all y'all motherfuckers is dirty, man. All of y'all.
Look. You look at it more pragmatically, you look at it more pragmatically than ideally. When I find out who's in charge of this contest between Valdez and Conceição, I'm like, oh, this is a fucking Indian casino that just shamelessly wants to make money because they play by no rules.
And they can't. No. And virtual, they can't be bought, right? They can't be bought.
No.
Let me read these super chats. Boxing is still run like the gladiator days in terms of politics. The fighters with the leverage get away. It's a microcosm. Yes, it is. Boxing, let me just say this for those that are listening. The best microcosm for life itself really is boxing. It really is. Keep going. The hypocrisy from Caleb Pawn, PBC fighters, is that they are not testing 24/7, 365 days a week, and only testing 4 to 8 weeks a year. But, yep. I mean, you ain't gonna pass tests for. You ain't got to take a test for a fight you ain't finna have, and most of the time they don't fight. Like it's to me, all of it is just very, very childish, and a lot of it is formalities. All right.
I got a question for you.
All right. No, go ahead.
It's slightly off topic. I want to know if you've seen this live stream. Who is the most popular fighter in boxing?
That depends on where we are, but I think Canelo.
Okay, so maybe you have seen the live stream. Who's the biggest superstar between Canelo and Errol Spence?
Oh, come on, man.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it? Nah, but I mean, like,
what?
Canelo and Errol Spence.
Oh.
Come on, B.
Oh, no, he didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
No.
If I even seen that battle, if I even seen that as a question on the thumbnail, I'm gonna make sure I don't watch that shit. Because I'm like, you really gonna sit here and do this? You know what I mean? Like, look,
my YouTube feed isn't filled with stupidity, so I'm good.
yeah, like I only follow special important channels like Beats and Dwyer and a couple of other. Like, I only follow special important channels. Like, the older I get, the less I want to use my time for dumb shit. And to me, this is dumb. This is dumb. The people that's going up to bat for Oscar, it's obvious why you doing that. I don't even know why you playing that game. Who you think you fooling? I know why you going up to bat for him. It ain't because he got a good story. I know why. I already know why. And you and the other guys are playing the same game. Y'all go over there with that game. I'm not on that. What I see, you're a dirty fighter. However you want to spin it, you're a dirty fighter. You're a dirty fighter. Saunders is a dirty fighter. You're a dirty fighter. But Putin is a dirty fighter. The list goes on. All right.
And I don't even understand why these governing bodies try to do like a positive spin. I mean, I just saw on Twitter the WBC tweeted a photo of Oscar Valdez, and I think it was like CBP Clean Boxing Program. I'm like, come on, stop it, like,
bro, the dude tests positive for a banned substance. Now he's gonna be the ambassador for clean boxing. You couldn't make this up. You couldn't.
You saw it?
I seen it. The dude just tested positive for a banned substance. Now he's the ambassador for clean boxing. You literally cannot make this shit up.
Yo, imagine, if people like after the fucking OJ trial. Oh yeah, OJ's a champion for women's rights. Like, get the fuck out of here.
That's it's so backward, and that's box. Look. Sometimes in life, you see that shit be backwards, right? That's boxing. Sometimes you look at boxing, yo, peep this shit. What if I told you that this cat just tested positive, and now he is the ambassador for clean boxing? He got to make public appearances, like 6 of them shits, because he's about clean boxing. Another thing
it's almost like, in a sense, Omar Figueroa putting out a video, stop drinking, it's bad for you. Like, yeah, no crap.
But ain't it though? Let's get the guy that just got hit with a DUI to tell you, hey, you need to stop drinking.
I'm Omar Figueroa. Stop it. Get some help.
You know what I'm saying? I'm Omar Figueroa, and you need to stop drinking and driving. I would laugh at that shit. Like, yo, is this real?
That was a just say no to drugs moment for this dude, and it's just so poorly timed.
Bro,
like,
that's
come
like
on.
Charlie Sheen. TV come on, Charlie Sheen. Say no to coke.
Yo, like, just wait for at least wait for that stuff that he has in the system to clear up. Give it 6 months. Like, goddamn.
It's like Lindsay Lohan doing a no drug commercial.
And look, a part of the reason that I went live and decided not to prepare a video, I decided to go live. In the last video that I uploaded, right, I proposed that they take the WBC situation to Michael Mazzulli, Like, yo, if y'all really want somebody to do something, the Alphabet Commission has teeth. They just pressured the WBA into consolidating titles. Take it to Michael Mazzulli. Not but 17 minutes, literally. Not but 17 minutes after I uploaded that video, I see Dan Raphael with a post from none other than the Alphabet Commission, and they are in complete agreement with the Yaqui Pasqua tribe's decision. They opt for Waters protocols. And what's Waters protocol? And I said this. It's not a I told you so moment. I said this. Waters protocol creates a gray area. Why? Oscar was not in competition. The drug has a shelf life, has a half-life of 20 hours. The fight's not till September 10th. The samples is from August 13th. Technically, the guy didn't break a rule. Technically. And they might go for that. They might decide not to do nothing. They might. And here we are. I thought that they could go to the Alphabet Commission to pressure the WBC into changing their infrastructure and perhaps implementing harsher penalties. That was the solution that I had. I upload the video. This is what I'm saying in the video. Not but 17 minutes after I upload this video, I see the official statement from the Alphabet Commission that no, we support them. They made the right decision. Oscar Valdez did not take a performance-enhancing drug, and that's it. That's where they left it. That's why I keep saying we gotta stop playing this goofy act. Like, I'm not gonna get mad, bro. Motherfucker get popped a month. I ain't gonna get mad. Like, that's the sport, bro. That's the sport.
I've grown restless, waiting for boxing to clean itself up. If this keeps happening like this, like, yeah, you pressure one organization to consolidate the belts, but you're not gonna, clean up the drug problem. If it is a drug problem in boxing, it's like, forget it. I've lost hope.
I've been gave up, honestly. That's what, yeah. I hate to be that way.
Look, I listened into Sonny Edwards and Richard Poxon and Box Story on Twitter. They was having a live chat in one of them spaces, right? And it's like, I hear what they saying, but I'm thinking after I get off of that live, it all just kind of hit me like, yo, all that shit they talking about and all this shit is still going on though. And it's been going on before you went pro, before any of this shit. It was going on. It's still going on. It's going to keep going on. Why? Because the sport don't want to fix itself. It don't.
That's too much.
It don't. If you want infrastructure, you get infrastructure. If you want the WBC to penalize fighters, one of the cats asked Sonny, they asked him, so would you fight for the WBC title? You know what he said? He went on a tirade, bear in mind, before they asked him that. He went on a tirade about the WBC and Mexican fighters, and he made a lot of salient, valid points. But when they asked him, would you fight for that title? He actually said, yeah. And I'm like, see, there it is. So you would give them your money to continue to corrupt this sport? Because that's what you're doing. You would give them your money.
Julius, that's like a perfect explanation for this video I just saw recently. I don't know if you're a video game guy, but maybe you aren't. But basically, there was this game. They came out with the Avengers game not too long ago, and almost everybody hated it. They talked bad about it. And one of my favorite YouTubers is a guy named Nando. He popped the video, and he put the caption lit on his video is Avengers. This is actually a good game. And he first starts off with a video saying, I don't know if you ever seen this TV show. It's called the Bad Times with like Marcellini or something like that. And she goes up to one of her idols. This girl is trying to become an upcoming comedian. She goes to one of her idols, and he's also a comedian. He's a very famous comedian. And he was like, hey, what do you feel about being stand-up comedy? Do you like being? Otherwise, she's like, do you like stand-up comedy? And then he went on a whole rant saying, "Oh my God, they don't pay you enough. It's hard to get along with the jokes. It's a lot of people have different stupid new trends and whatnot. And yeah, it's just horrible." And then she was like, "Wait a minute, but you didn't answer my question. Do you like it?" And then he held his hands up like,
bro, you know what it's like? Look. I know Battle. How old are you?
24.
I don't know if you ever worked with a person. Have you ever worked at a job, right, where you got a person that all they do is they come in and they complain every fucking day,
every day.
So you've had that experience, right?
Of course.
All right. So me, if I don't like a job, I literally leave. If I don't like a site, I leave. But you have people, they'll sit there and complain and complain and complain and complain, and day in and day out, they'll go to that same job and complain and complain and complain and complain and complain. So it's like, I look at that as the situation with boxing, that when Sonny Edwards said all that shit, I was like, yeah, he right. Yeah, he right. But when they asked him, so would you fight for that title? And he said, yeah, the air got let out of the tires. Like, see, you fight for that title, you give them your money so they can keep corrupting this sport. That's all. That's all. And they'll take that.
That's how they stay relevant.
That's how they stay relevant. You feeding the beast. So when I see that, if he'd have said, nah, I wouldn't fight for them. I don't need your title. I'm gonna stand on principle. I'm not. That would have showed me something like, oh, okay. But when you say you will fight for the title after you just sat here and said all this shit about them and they corrupt and all of that, but you would fight for their title. Here we are, B. Here we are, man. The sport.
Honest to God, if I was a boxer, I think I would fight for the title, then immediately drop it. Honestly, because honestly, I'm just going there just to say I took this belt from you. If it was a vacant title, I don't think I would probably.
No,
okay.
I wouldn't like look, the situation is you supposed to go in there and beat the man opposite the ring. If I felt how you feel, how you saying that you feel, right? I'm not gonna give y'all my money, dog. Nah, I'm not giving you my money. If I fight for your title, you get to take a piece of my bread, even if it's just for this fight. Nah, fuck you. Fuck you. I don't need, no, I'm here to beat him. Yeah, I'll beat him, but I'm not giving you my money. No. Like when Canelo, remember when Canelo got tight at the WBC from 2016 to 2017 and they tried to crash the party? He like, man, I don't give a fuck about no Huicho belt. Keep that shit. Give it to Chavez. I don't care about that shit. He was mad. That's how you supposed to be. Like, nah, fuck y'all. I don't need that shit. Give it to somebody in the audience, B. I don't need that shit. I'm not fighting for that shit. That's the stance you supposed to take. You ain't supposed to say, oh, they're so evil, they're corrupt, they're this, they're that. So you could turn around and give them your money? You're part of the problem then.
Yeah, that's a big problem why these fights never get made. Don't complain about fights that never get made if you support the fighter.
Yeah. Oh, Tyson Fury, he's such a cheat. Let me fight him again.
Bro.
Oh my God. That's a rabbit hole.
Case in point, right? Wilder and Fury bought the fight again, right? They bought the fight again. They not getting my money. No. You're not getting my money. No. What? Because then I'm encouraging you. I feel that y'all fucked up this division and y'all part of the reason that it's starting to get stale. I'm not giving y'all my money. Spence, nah, you didn't get my money for that Denny Garcia fight or that Mikey Garcia fight. You got my money for the Porter fight. That's it. You didn't get my money for them other two bullshit ass fights. Sorry. No. I'm not going to encourage you. If I give you my bread, I'm encouraging you.
Let's see if you know me well, Julius. I've been saying on this panel for the longest time. If Spence and Errol Spence were to fight tomorrow, what would I do?
You'd watch it.
Yeah, I watch it, but I wouldn't pay for it.
But no, look, most of us feel that way, right? Most of us feel it. Look, the pay-per-view model hasn't changed that much. The disconnect is that they think that they could fool us into buying it. No, you can't fool me into buying it. Only certain fights belong on pay-per-view, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Only certain fights belong on pay-per-view. Only certain ones. Like if I told you Gervonta Davis versus Teofimo Lopez, that belongs on pay-per-view. Yes. Devin Haney versus Gervonta, yeah, that belongs on pay-per-view. Yep, that belongs on pay-per-view. Now, what don't belong on pay-per-view is Davis versus Barrios. No, that don't belong on pay-per-view. Davis versus nope, that don't belong on pay-per-view. No, it does not. And either one of them in any other order against, look, Ryan Garcia versus Joseph Diaz. Good fight. Good, solid, low fight if they make it. a fight like that don't belong on pay-per-view. Lopez versus Comey, that was a good fight while it lasted. Didn't last very long. Solid fight, but pay-per-view is not for solid fights. It's for super fights. Not like pretty good fight. No, it's for super fights that you biting your nails and you don't know and you nervous and you might have shit 3 times because you don't know what's going to happen. It's for super fights. It's for your Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo Alvarez. That's what pay-per-view is for. It's for your Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. That's what pay-per-view is for. Or Tyson Fury. That's what it's for. All right? It's not for these run-of-the-mill. You used to get fucking fights like that on regular HBO. Solid fights. Ray Mercer versus Burt Cooper, unless I'm mistaken. Michael Mora versus Burt Cooper. That wasn't I think that was a regular ass fight. I don't think that was a pay-per-view. You had good ass fights all the time. Didn't cost you an arm and a leg to watch. That's how it's supposed to be. The super fights, that's what pay-per-view is for. Not these regular shits. Like, look, I bought the Charlo doubleheader, but I know that shit don't belong on pay-per-view. That's why damn near nobody bought that shit. That shit don't belong on pay-per-view. You wildin'. Well, the banana, who's been a champion for all of 10 seconds, let's put him on pay-per-view.
No, honestly, I think even though I didn't support that fight, I probably would have just saying because I was really in support for seeing somebody undisputed. So just me, even it's along that road where it's one fight away from undisputed, I still would have supported it. But honestly, God, I just forgot.
I bought it too, but I bought it on principle because I wanted to encourage the PBC to make more fights like that. So I use myself as an example. I will buy this.
Know that.
Do they? When they put in Ruiz versus Arreola on pay-per-view, do they really know that?
I wonder sometimes too, but it's like, no, they don't. Like, it's just some bullshit. I don't know. It's just some bullshit, man.
I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Honestly, God, our PBC, how many are? Maybe I'm confused. I don't know how the British pay-per-view works. How consistently is their pay-per-view from anybody other than PBC? Because I don't even really know. Like,
well, the PBC is oversaturating the market with pay-per-views. If you notice, no other American outfit is putting out pay-per-views. They're the only ones.
I mean, there really is the only American outfit really like that. Like,
but it's because the other outfits know. Remember, Bob initially was going to make Lomachenko versus Lopez a pay-per-view. Then they changed their mind. Because Bob, see, like Lopez versus Lomachenko, yeah, that's a modest pay-per-view. Modest. I think it could have done maybe 400,000 to 500,000 buys in a healthy market, not a pandemic market, a healthy market. Yeah, why? Because ESPN is a major sports network, the biggest sports network in the country. Yeah, people would have bought the fight, but they did us a solid as boxing fans, and they gave us the fight. So when you have real fights that belong on pay-per-view, and they like, no, you know what? We can't do that. We're going to give them the fight. That means Charlo, it wasn't no build-up for no Charlo versus Rosario. It wasn't no story behind that shit. It wasn't no story behind fucking Charlo and Derevyanchenko. It wasn't no story behind Spence. You trying to convince me that Spence belongs on pay-per-view. And every time he get out there, be like, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You wildin'. Now, if you get him the right guy, then you cooking with rice. If you get him the right guy. But Spencer Danny Garcia.
No.
I never understood why Crawford was so hard to promote on pay-per-view. That was one thing that bothered me.
Crawford does not belong on pay-per-view, bro. Not without the right dance partner. Crawford is an elite. Look, Crawford's my fucking favorite fighter of this era, low key. Like, that's one of my faves. Close to my heart, that guy is, right? But I know he need the right dance partner. He do. Same as Spence. And I've been maintaining the same shit for 4 years. You need each other. Beat that guy. You beat that guy, you cross over. Nah, Porter. Nah, Mikey. Nah, Danny. Nah. All right, then. We here, B. It's dead. It's dead. I don't care about that fight. Give me Crawford versus Josh Taylor in the United Kingdom. Please.
Yeah.
I'm just really of the competitive spirit where if I'm a boxer, I wouldn't like. You remember when I said Lomachenko called himself? He said he was depressed about not getting the fights he wanted because I mean, honest to God, like if you train that hard and you don't get the fights you want, you will go into that little depression stage. So, honest to God, I can't see myself training this hard to not fight people I want to fight. And
Bro,
people,
you think Lomachenko doing all them goddamn jigsaw puzzles and he's juggling all these balls and shit so he could fight Anthony Crolla? Nothing against Anthony Crolla, right? Because you gotta respect the craft. Like, I'm not saying he a bad fighter, but I know that Lomachenko wants certain fights and he can't get them. That's not one of the ones that he wanted. Bob was mad about this shit. He was like, they shoved this fight up her ass. He literally said that. Like, nobody wanted that fight.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's just Bosh is just. Honestly, I just made my peace with it. I don't really, how do I say, I don't invest my money in most of these fights. Let's put it that way. For some, I will.
Bro, can I just revisit? Since y'all mentioned Errol Spence, that comment he made, when he said after the Garcia fight, I don't know what Terrence is even doing here. The thing that bothered me is that he actually doesn't even know why Terrence was actually doing there.
He was probably drunk when he said that. I don't
bro,
know.
Bro, like, why would Clubber Lang go to Rocky Balboa's fight just for the fuck of it because he's a fan of his? No, he trying to study you. He trying to build up that fight. And
Mark,
you sitting around
hold on, Mark, you came in too late because I'm about to close out the damn live. I'm getting sleepy, and I want to fucking watch a movie before I go to sleep. You waited too fucking long. You too, Lennox. I see you.
Well,
You too, Lennox.
I'm always the movie guy, so we got to talk about that before you get up. What you about to watch?
Well, there's this fucking shit called Wrong Turn. It's it was an old.
Oh, I know those movies.
Yeah, I know what Wrong Turn is.
Those sick ass movies.
It's on motherfucking Showtime right now, so I gotta finish that. I started it, and I started it yesterday, and the dude had just died because a log hit his ass. So I gotta see. It's not like the first Wrong Turn. I see that it's not like the first Wrong Turn because the first Wrong Turn they was like in West Virginia, and it was like some hillbillies hunting them. This is some different shit than that, and I gotta finish that shit.
I read the review for it. I think I read the review for it. There's one guy I watched named Cody Leach. He said that from what he got from the movie was half of the movie he thought it was a crappy movie, and he said I couldn't believe what was happening. But like halfway through the movie, it's almost like another director just came in out of nowhere. Hey, bro, you messed stuff up, bro. Get out of here.
So you really going to sit here and fuck it up for me? Is what you telling me?
No. Listen, you gotta listen to what I'm saying. He said a director literally got in the seat and was like, "Hey, bro, you messing up the scene, bro. Like, you gotta get up out of here." And the middle and the last half actually get really great because the writing gets much better. The writing wasn't as good as the first half.
Don't tell, because I was watching the shit and off top I knew that this is not like an According to Hoyle reboot. This is different. The story and everything is different than the first story. So I don't know what the fuck going on. I just know that a dude, they was going up a hill and a big ass log just smashed their man friend in his face. They showed the dude face. And you ever slice an orange in half and then squeeze it and look at it? That's how his face was, B. That shit was gruesome. I was like, ooh, it's a good movie.
Honestly, Julius, it takes me a little second to invest in a lot of horror movies these days because a lot of them I don't be feeling. Like a lot of them be bad to me, but like I think maybe the last one I seen that was actually. It's been a little second since I've seen a good one. I think
the Nun was look.
The Conjuring.
The Nun? Good. Oh my god!
No, wait. Want some? If you go into it,
good.
Before I say, if you go into it expecting a 6 and a 7, you good. If you go into it expecting Ed and Lorraine, that's when you're gonna be let down. I wasn't expecting Ed and Lorraine.
Honestly, God, I don't know when Don't Breathe came out, but I say the last one I legitimately seen that was really good was probably Don't Breathe and Lights Out. I don't know if you've ever seen Lights Out with
I see Lights Out.
Oh my god, yeah, Lights Out was really good, but it's been
The Last Conjuring. I ain't gonna say shit. The Last Conjuring is different than all the other Conjurings. I ain't gonna say shit. It was alright for me because they switched it up. They changed it to where it's like, oh, so y'all ain't got all the answers now. I dig that shit. I like that shit. I like the Conjuring series. as far as being afraid, nobody builds better atmosphere for horror than 80s movies, and I've accepted. Like I've come to terms with
Right.
that. Like it's never.
John Carpenter, the decade of John Carpenter, the Halloween movies,
Yeah, like
and then I think Wes Craven with the Nightmare on Elm Street.
no matter of fact, I'm gonna say this. I saw Fear Street. I saw the whole trilogy.
Oh yeah, on Netflix. Yeah.
The first Fear Street, they came very close to making me feel that old school atmosphere because it's like a retro horror movie. I seen the second shit with the camp shit. Chick got the big titties, everybody dying. They kind of lost me.
Have you seen Hereditary?
What's it called?
Oh yeah.
Hereditary.
I might have to look that up.
It's on Amazon Prime, I think. If you got the,
I got Prime.
Yeah, Hereditary is good. Honestly, Midsummer is just really weird.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it. Like when them old people jumped off that cliff, and then they went over there with the hammer and stuff. Yo, that shit had me laughing my ass. Like, yo, imagine if you went somewhere and you had to see that shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Remember when he went?
Imagine having a cheering section for fucking. Like,
bro, that's what I was about to go to. Yo, dog, that's what I was about to go. That's right where I was about to talk about. Like, yo, imagine you shagging a joint and all these joints.
Bro, they basically
pushing you in,
guy.
stroking for you. They're stroking for you and shit.
Bro, they basically raped the guy.
They did though.
That's so wrong. I was like, oh my god, this is just.
Nah, it wouldn't have been wrong if they ain't burned the motherfucker to death. Like, why y'all gotta do that? Y'all just had a good orgy. Y'all gonna burn him to death? Remember, that's how it ended. They put him in the house and put like a helmet or a mask or some bullshit, and then they light the shit on fire.
Put the bear.
It makes no sense, and that's the beauty of it.
Do you ever
Hold on, shout out. Wait, shout out to this. Yes, Frailty is literally, and I'm not exaggerating. Frailty is one of the best movies I've ever seen, one of the best executed movies I've ever seen. Shout out to my wife for making me watch that shit because I would have never watched that shit if it wasn't for her. My
granddad put me on that.
That is one of the best movies from beginning to end. It take you if you once you start listening, the shit take you, and it's like, yo, this shit is wow, bro. Fenton, I saw Jesus, Fenton. That's my shit.
Think about it for a second. What movie has better plot twists than Frailty?
Bro, Frailty.
I can't think of many. It has like 5 different plot twists.
Bro, I felt frail watching that shit, Fenton. Can I get some water? Remember when they put him in the shit? He had to drink the water. Fenton, need some water. Like, yo, and yo, when he killed his dad, that shit hurt, B. Because I'm a dad, like, bro, I'd be mad as shit if one of my kids killed me like that.
What's that guy's name? That's the guy who died like 10 years ago. He's the guy from Alien. I forget his name.
Which guy?
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton. Yeah. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton, man.
He's a good dad. He said, I had a vision. Yo, that whole movie, I love that whole movie, man. That whole movie. One of the best movies I've seen. And it's not necessarily horror, but it really is a mind fuck. Is what's this shit, man? What's this with these fucking aliens, man?
Oh, seven. Yeah, I can count that as a word.
7 is alright, but as far as atmosphere, because it has atmosphere. But what's
talking about Alien?
The prequel to Alien.
Oh, Prometheus.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
I love Prometheus.
My god.
I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it.
I love that shit. I love that. He thought
that was a controversial movie because a lot of people didn't like the twist at the end, but yeah, I love Prometheus.
Bro, but it left you with so many questions that, yo, these cats was literally gonna go to Earth and drop all this shit off. And I felt like the chicken and shit, like, yo, why was y'all gonna do that? Why y'all gonna drop that shit on us? Because remember,
what's that movie?
Prometheus.
And then they dropped the ball hard at Alien Isolation. What was you think? What was it? No, Alien Covenant. What was you thinking?
Covenant was trash, bro.
It was trash. What were they?
Both movies were trash. I didn't like.
Oh my god, I hated it so much. It was
really?
Oh my.
Nah. I'm gonna say it was all downhill from the second one because when I seen Homegirl was even though they wrote it in a way that did make sense, that he spliced her. The girl, the robot motherfucker was bugging out. And if you look on the table, He got her whole rib cage open. And he took her DNA to make more funky looking shit. I was like, yo, that's fucked up. I wanted her to live. And
Right.
you know what I mean? And you see that, yo, this is how it all went down. They got another Dave. And bad Dave beat the shit out of good Dave. And then he got all the people on the ship to it's like basically they trying to explain how the aliens came into being. That's what it looked like. They
Yeah,
trying to explain that.
basically, if I'm putting it to
Which
Lost Illustrated
Prometheus
for
is
what
it?
Prometheus
it's one,
1 is the best one.
it's only one Prometheus, honestly. But
Yeah, yeah.
But honestly, I think what they was trying to explain, I listened to this guy named Anti Logic, and he has to find reasoning. He likes to find reasoning in movies that's not so, in a sense, congruent. And he thinks that, and I believe him. I honestly bought this theory. He has a theory about Prometheus. He says the way it works is the black goo is just a way of you multiplying the evolving state of whatever touches it. So because you remember how the guy took the black goo, he turned this big mob like thing that's like growing like really inflamed hands and whatnot. But when you drop the black goo on the worm in the cave, it turned into like a white worm that crushed the guy's arm, so it evolves the state. So basically, aliens are just the evolved state of the black goo. And I bought that. I really like that theory, but like I was saying, like
Yeah, but
you
you know
have.
what? But what about when the engineer? Remember at the beginning of the shit, the engineer eat the black goo and then he just get all fucked up and fall in the shit.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Like honestly, I think what they was trying to explain is just there's a lot of organisms where it just won't work really well with, like the engineers and the humans. Because you remember the guy with he forced the girl to set him on fire. Honestly, I just think it's not a good match to put it in to get certain organisms like humanoid organisms. When you
Well,
do it
he
against
was a
one,
dickhead. He was a dick because he was being mean to Dave. And like, how you gonna be mean to a robot? You gotta be a special dickhead to be mean
I
to a
don't think he was
robot.
being mean. I think the robot took it to offense to say that he was saying like why did you create androids? He was like, well, because we could, we have the ability to.
But
And he was
still, that's a douchey. It's like you don't like. I took that as a parallel. There was somebody that proposed this because I watched the video like the one that you're describing, and they said that remember, while all of them was asleep for all those years, while they was traveling to this planet, Dave was awake, but nobody was around to do maintenance and upkeep on Dave. So at some point, something went wrong, and that's why he's
Mhm.
malicious. Because if you notice, Dave do a lot of petty ass shit. He put the black goo in his drink. He the one that did that.
Right. Yeah, he
So
definitely did that.
now, why was Dave sweet on the girl? Dave was sweet on the girl because she was the only one that was nice to him. So maybe if this dude wouldn't have been a dickhead, Dave would have put the shit in somebody else's shit. He put the shit in his shit.
Or he chose her to be the first one to give a baby to the alien, the alien baby.
Kind of, but not really. Like he didn't know they was fucking.
I
He
mean,
didn't know they was
how could he
fucking.
not know that after the fact? Like, I think he honestly, it's not hard to deduce that fact after the fact because she was really injured after he got killed. So I'm like, yeah, you kind of know what's going on.
No, I'm saying when he set him up, remember, he was in the pool shit. The dude is saucy. Dave walked in there knowing what he was going to do. When he walked in there, he ain't know they was fucking. He ain't know that. He didn't find out they was fucking till after the fact. Like, oh, y'all was fucking. That's why you sick, because y'all was fucking. Fucking. My wife is mad at
Where's
me
all
because I
this
keep
from?
saying fucking.
Bro, like
She said, "Can you shut up?" Fucking.
honestly, God, I freaking love the alien atmosphere movies if you can do it right. Like, there's something to be done about big level sci-fi horror, but we haven't seen it in a long time. I
War of
think
the
I
Worlds.
well,
That was
no. Actually, I can think of one that's actually really good. That actually,
I
it
like
was a
War of the
small scale
Worlds.
movie, but I freaking loved it. You ever seen Pandora?
Yes, it was good.
Oh my god!
That
Oh
was a
my
good
god!
Yes,
I
movie.
freaking love
yes,
Pandora, bro.
yes.
Pandora did, bro. They did almost everything right. I only thing I probably say wrong is it was probably like, honestly, they probably should have took some time to explain some certain things, but I freaking love Pandorum. That's one of my favorites.
I love Pandorum. Event Horizon, solid 7. Event Horizon, where they in
Yeah,
hell.
I hate talking about Event Horizon because I hate Paul W.S. Anderson so much. But I will.
But
But I gotta admit that was
it was and it's that the other shit that I thought was dope and new was the one, God, what's the name of this movie, man, where the people, they basically had a colony of people start to wake up. Wait a minute, ain't that Pandorum? Yeah, that is Pandorum. Y'all fucking old, bro.
Come on, Grandpa.
Yo,
Oh
I
my
just
god.
had a real for real grandpa moment there. Like, I love the what's the movie where the people turned into monsters made out of technology? That was Pandorum, grandpa.
You
You
know what
guys
you know
see
what it is. You know. Go ahead.
I was gonna
Go
say, have
ahead.
you guys seen that movie As Above, So Below on Netflix? It's
Yeah,
alright.
yeah, I saw that one, but
Yeah,
I honestly, yeah,
It's
here's
alright.
the thing. I'm gonna
It's
be
alright.
honest. If you have found footage movies, I'm okay with it. But like, first of all, it started off as a gimmick. I think the thing is the way they was in trying to. I think the way they was trying to set off that the cave was haunted and stuff like that. I was just like, this is just too surreal. Honest to God, it should have been more subtlety. Like you warping in on yourself into cars and phones.
yeah,
It was
like
just too weird. Like
to
I can
me,
watch 1408 because it's not so in your face. Like
look. If the cave is a character, and this is what's missing in horror, the cave is a character. It is. It's the villain, right? And it's
right.
like these people write these things without realizing how to utilize it. If the cave is a character, you don't need music. You don't need a lot of effects. You could be very scary with simple shit. And this is why I love Paranormal Activity. I know that
Ah,
most of them shits is trash. But the first shit is dope because they scared you with simple shit. Noises, you don't see a lot of shit. It ain't a whole lot of shit going on, but it is implied. You hear it
hmm
from forward. It's like, yo, what the fuck?
bro.
And what's scary about it? If you was in your house at that time and you heard that shit,
Wait, I
you
gotta get my piece. I gotta get my Glock.
trying to tell you something. I be on the ghost like, yo, you better fuck off.
Julius, you in the kitchen?
Fuck,
Julius.
you better fuck off, ghost. Pat, pat, pat. Shoot the neighbors. Like, why you was shooting? Why you was shooting?
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, right? Paranormal Activity 1 and 2 were okay. Like I think the whole thing behind me why I hate
Yes,
the movie so much
1 and
is that
2.
they're so unbelievably easy to make. The entire process is just two people. A family is basically doing the everyday thing in their everyday lives, and then once you get to the end, there's literally another guy in another room who will beat on the wall. Oh my God, what is that? And then
But
the big
it's
breakout is they get
dope. It's
no, no, no.
dope because of how it's like macaroni and cheese. It seems simple, but it's like, yo, the genius is in the simplicity. You put an
hmm
audience in a real life scenario that automatically makes it relatable. And you don't need a lot of special effects and makeup, guys. You don't need none of that. You just need to imply the horror because you already putting the audience in these people's house. It's so simple, it's fucking genius. But they
hmm
overdid it. That you had a guy in the 80s, he put the camcorder to the fan. And I'm like, come on, B. Nobody was doing that. No
Bro,
fucking body in the 80s was attaching a camera to a fan so that it could oscillate. You just trying to justify why you got this kind of movie set in the 80s when you know when you
I mean,
that's
all found footage movies have to do that. Like you remember with what's that movie with the witch?
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch. Okay, when Blair Witch first came out, there of course they made a fake site trying to tell you that Blair Witch was real.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they had like, and I think they actually had came out with a news report about it. But the thing is, the reason they tell you is, well, look at this. This is so crazy. I can't put it. I need it. I need it for this because this is so unreal. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I don't know if you ever seen a movie called Wreck, or I don't know if it's called. They have a American remake called Quarantine.
I
But
think I
basically,
did see Quarantine. I think I did see Quarantine.
the reason they keep justifying why they have to pick up a camera and record this stuff is because hey, the police locked us in this apartment building to quarantine us, so we need to record this just in case. or just in case all the rooms get out, in case all the rooms the lights turn off, we need the night vision. So this is why we need the camera.
Wait. This what I'm gonna tell you. Look, I saw found footage. Which one? Cloverfield is a great found footage movie. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't. It's like, you remember 80s action scenes that the dude will block a punch and then he'll wait like 2 seconds. Like, ha, and that's how all the fight scenes in when you know in real life, motherfuckers don't fight like that. It's more like Born. It's all happening in real time, and it ain't pretty and it ain't smooth. It's just going. You just go. All right. The reason I like Cloverfield in that respect is at no point does the characters stop to tell the audience why we recording shit. It's obvious why we recording shit. There's a fucking monster in the city. Why wouldn't we be recording the shit? I don't gotta stop to tell you that. But in Paranormal Activity 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 7 of them, they always stop to tell you, come on, we gotta record this. It's like, oh, this is the part where you let the audience know how it is that you made a found footage movie in the 80s when nobody was doing found footage. Like it's corny. Even the Spanish one, when they in the housing complex, like, bro,
That's wreck.
That shit was no, that's not wreck. Remember they had this. That was the marked ones. Paranormal Activity.
Oh yeah. You talking about when the dude was floating backwards on the floor?
Or when the dopest part is when they tried to rob him and they punched the bully into the soda machine.
Actually, Chronicles had a good excuse, because Chronicle in that movie, the guy, I forget his name, but he has a power where he can, of course, telekinesis. But the thing is, he actually explained it like, honest to God, he said it's like honest to God, after a while of doing it, I just forgot it was there. So like honest to God, he would have the camera float around with him, and he forgot it was there. And there will be certain moments where the guy was like, whoa, what's the camera coming from? He's like, whoa, are you doing that? He's like, yeah. He's like, I just forgot it was there.
I'm gonna say this. I think that most people forgot what the appeal of a found footage movie is. For example, I think that, and I come back to Cloverfield because they did it right. You're never supposed to get a panoramic view of what's going on because that's not realistic. That is just not. For example, you don't see the monster head on most of the movie. You can't. He's too big, but you get a glimpse of him. You're not always supposed to show everything. And what I don't like about most found footage movies now is they show you too much. The horror is supposed to be implied. The characters are in a panicked state. I ain't got time to show the audience in the theater the whole monster. You got to show people running, and you never really get a good look at it. And as frustrating as that is, it works. That's why it worked in Cloverfield. In Paranormal Activity, you see everything as the dog playing in the pool, the ghost is fucking with the spoons, they fucking in. It's like, bro, like that shit it's not gonna work. Like, the horror has to be implied, and it has to be simple.
I'm gonna be honest, it can be done effective, because I never forget when I watched Halloween Rob Zombie's remake, and that's the one when I don't know if you've seen the Rob Zombie remake. That's the one that came out like 2010.
I seen all them shits, and I have to say, I mean this from the heart. They're better than the original, but they're not better than the reboot. The reboot with the the new reboot, because I seen all the Robs, and I love them all, by the way. Like, I rate them very high. Yes.
Halloween 2 was such a mind trip.
To me,
bro, Halloween 1 is amazing, but
I'm Mike Grizzly, bitch. That's my
yeah.
Mike
I'm Joe
Grizzly, bitch.
Bro, listen, bro. The thing about it, one thing I never noticed until somebody told me. He said one thing I don't like about the Halloween Rob Zombie movies is that everyone is an a-hole. Like, literally, everyone is an a-hole. There is not one person that is redeemable. Everybody just talks smack to each other. And then Rob Zombie likes he does this thing where he likes to promote that most guys in the 80s and the 70s were these hippies who were hooking up with these super attractive women. I'm like, bro, like what is going on? I swear to God.
I think he puts too much. I agree with you, because I felt that they're like, bro, people like, yo, like, I don't know what state you live in, but like this shit don't feel real. In other words, like, all these people talk shit. Everybody's just talking shit. Everybody talking crazy, talking reckless.
I think the only person who wasn't an a-hole until the second one was Lori. But then again,
Yeah.
I was just like, this is not really like this doesn't make a lot of sense here. Like everybody's an a-hole.
Everybody's an ass. It's kind of like a Tarantino movie, and
Right.
I love Tarantino. Don't get me wrong, but there's certain shit like you doing that too much. Like everybody got a
Mm-hmm.
monologue. Everybody has a fucking monologue. Everybody, really.
Everyone. I mean, honestly, God, I love Tarantino. So when they have a monologue, I really love it because he has great dialogue.
He do,
Like
but when I watch The
it
Hateful
gets
Eight.
pretentious sometimes.
There you go. I watched The Hateful Eight, and I'm like, see, why these motherfuckers is talking so much? Like everybody got mad shit to say. Everybody, this is wild.
Like the last part where they're literally doing a hangman speech and
Yeah,
they're bleeding out.
bruh.
But honestly, God, like I still love Tarantino. Like
No,
I really.
look. I love Tarantino. Don't get me wrong, but The Hateful Eight is like that. That has to be the worst, the very worst Tarantino movie I've ever seen in my life. The worst of all of them. It's like, bro, like he bleeding out. Like, don't you see he bleeding out? If you gonna hang this bitch, then hang this bitch. You literally gave her a speech. Then he gave her a speech. Both y'all speeches was like 5 minutes before y'all hang this bitch.
Honestly, I think what is his worst one? I'd say probably his worst one to me. Honestly, God, you might disagree with me. Just me personally, probably Pulp Fiction or
You
or
wildin'.
no. Hear me out. Hear
You
me out.
wildin'.
Honestly, God, hear me out. My thing is about Pulp Fiction. Don't get me wrong. I love Quentin. I can quote Pulp Fiction line for line for line. It's really memorable. My thing is you set up a movie. It's supposed to be renowned. It's supposed to be one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yes.
The way you set up this crime drama to where it's almost a contained situation where these people it basically revolves around Marcellus Wallace and him basically kind of breaking apart the ranks from people from these small people. Like honestly, God, you could have just made it more contained than that. Honestly, if you have a plot that goes an hour or two in and people still don't know, honest to God, where you're going with the plot, honest to God, me personally, that's not for me. I know a lot of people
No,
like,
listen. The
You
two
complaining
worst.
about Pulp Fiction? The one I didn't like was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That one I just couldn't get into. I
yeah,
watched the whole thing and
No,
felt like
yeah,
it
I
wasted
actually
my
like
two
life.
Once Upon a
worst
Time.
Tarantino movies are The Hateful Eight and The Inglorious Bastards. And bear in mind,
What? Oh my God, you can't be serious.
wait. I
You said
like
Inglorious that.
wait. I like The Inglorious Bastards, but on the totem pole of Tarantino movies, that's at the bottom for me, dog. It is. It is.
Honestly, I disagree. Brad, Inglourious Bastard, man, it hits it out of the park. Everybody can remember. Everybody knows his best film is Django. I mean, it's not really, it's not really a competition. Honestly, God, my favorite movie from his is Kill Bill, but
Kill
Inglorious
Bill.
Bastard,
Kill Bill is. I gotta say this. I fucking love Kill Bill. Like
I freaking love
I
Kill Bill,
fucking love
bro.
Kill Bill.
Bro,
The
don't
second one
you?
where she was in the motherfucking casket and that music came on and she started decking that shit. It's like, yo, that shit made my spirit move, B. When she found took the little razor blade out the shit, cut the shit, pa, okay, pa, mate. Here, I was like, ooh, that shit
Bro,
moved me,
like
B.
be honest, right? I know a lot of people gonna reference stuff like Boondock Saints or Scott Pilgrim, but honestly, God, what movie is more stylish than Kill Bill? Like
Bro.
they have a full anime epilogue. Like, are you serious? Like, come on, come
Bro, when
on.
they
Like,
got that scene with Oren Ishii and she shoot the British motherfucker in the forehead
oh
and you
my
see the
God!
bullet travel to the shit.
And then the girls on the other side, like, well, what the heck just happened?
Yo, that shit was wow. Like I like that. I still, I still be popping that shit in. Like, yo, this Kill Bill is my shit,
Bro,
B.
I'll never forget the day I watched it. The day I watched it, I'll never forget. My dad had a whole bunch of rated. He had a bunch of adult stuff, like you name it, like black exploitation. What's the homeboy what's the homeboy who just came out of the movie with Eddie Murphy? You remember
Which one?
the Dolomite? He had
Dolomite. Yeah,
the
yeah.
Dolomite collection. Pimps
Foxy
Pimp,
Brown,
Pimp,
Shaft.
bro, literally the full adult section. I'll never forget. I stole Kill Bill from because of course the case. I don't know if you ever seen the case. The case was just amazing.
It's yellow. It's yellow.
Yeah, big and yellow, or and it's like big and red. It's like a 2-part thing where you have to see this.
Bro, and look, I could go get. I still have the cases of them shits from when I was collecting DVDs and shit like that. I still got them shit.
And I'll never forget. For the longest time, I seen Kill Bill 2 before I seen Kill Bill 1. So the thing is, I'll never forget. I was watching, like, I'll never forget. I was looking at there was like Kill Bill, the yellow outfit. I'm like, what? I've never seen this version of Kill Bill. Like, what movie was y'all watching? So I was like, oh, I forgot the first disc, and I lost the first disc. So I had to wait like a whole nother year to find the disc and watch it for the first time. And oh my God, I was so
look. The first shit and the second shit is like two different. Because the first shit is some real kung fu shit. The second shit is some straight wild wild west shit. Like, because most of the fucking movie is set at or around Mexico and shit. And every time I see this dude blend that drink, I really want to know what he put in that shit.
It was just a frozen margarita. I think it was.
Is that what that was? Because that shit, every time I watch that scene, I get fucking thirsty.
You talking about, bro, Quentin Tarantino has a way of making you really freaking hungry in his movies. I don't know if you see in Glorious Bastard when they had that freaking what was that, apple fritter, or what was it? Well, I don't think it was a fritter though. I think it was like, huh?
I think it was Sinclair.
What was it? It was a strudel. A strudel. It was an apple strudel. Yeah. And oh my freaking God, I got so hungry looking at that scene.
Every time I see that scene where he mixing drinks for the other broad, I get fucked. Like, it's like I've been in it. Like, I gotta drink that shit. Like, I don't know what that shit is, but I gotta drink that shit. And I still want to know what the ingredients is so I can make. I got like 3 fucking blenders in this house, bro. I can make that drink. I just need to know what the ingredients are. I know it's some green shit, but I don't know what the fuck was in it. Bro, anyway, look, man, I gotta end this live. Fucking sleepy, ass hurt from sitting in this chair. Pew. Now I'm gonna go. Wait, tomorrow I'm gonna go live for the fucking Warrington Lara shit. So y'all show up, right?
Who you got for that?
Honestly, I got Warrington on points. I think he just got shot by a dude. He didn't know what was in front of him, and that happens.
I mean, he did get knocked down a couple of times, I think.
But he's had plenty. Look, I'm gonna keep it short and simple. That dude didn't know what he was dealing with. He thought it was gonna be a lighter touch, and everything was there for it to go wrong. Everything is there now for it to go right. He had plenty of time to recuperate, plenty of time to watch film. He knows not to stand square with this guy and trade with him. I think he could win on points on the balls of his feet. We'll see what happens.
All right.